Going out to all the upstarts, rabble-rousers, chain makers, and those who are just here for a revolution. You are tuned in to WNLR, Neon Lights Roleplay, for another episode of The World Within You, our bass-boosted, spray-paint-splattered take on Voidheart Symphony by Minerva McJanda. For the next few hours, we will flip like shadows between urban playgrounds and nightmare mindscapes contained within, well, any major city in North America. If you enjoy Persona, Psychonauts, or simply seeing the wicked bend before the uncompromising ideals of the young, superglue that dial right where it is. Before the main event, be aware that Voidheart Symphony and the story we are about to tell will be one that meditates on the very real evils, great and small, that people subject each other to. While our players have safety tools in place and a mic in the booth, if you're catching our show across the airwaves, know ahead of time that we might touch on some difficult topics. Listener discretion is advised. If you ever feel uncomfortable, you can cut away and jam to something that soothes your soul, hopefully rejoining our renegades later. For this episode in specific, we may cover school and learning environments, family conflict, absent parents, being a child to parents who are immigrants, digital bullying, snakes, clowns, sharks, and self-loathing. Now, I've prattled on for long enough, and we have a digital studio absolutely bursting with talent. Let's introduce them. We'll start with the person on my right, Tate.
Oh, hey. Hello, Twitch. It's me, Tate Washburn. I've forgotten my intro, actually, because I haven't done this in a little while. And I will be playing Jordan, the smart-ass, whip-it-fast new kid on the block perpetually. That's the word. Yep.
So sorry about that music for a second there.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's bring it on down to Land the Dan.
Oh, hey, that's me. Hi, I'm Land the Dan. I also forgot my intro because I don't have one. But I'll be playing Scott Reiser, the musically inclined and ever observant. We haven't done this in a while. What's my class name?
I believe you're a watcher.
A watcher, but not like the D&D monster.
All right, let's slide to the left. Milan.
Hey, I'm Milan. I use they and he pronouns. You will see me tonight playing the role of Joe. No gods, no masters, no gender. They, them pronouns, and I'm using the heretic playbook.
And, of course, over to Sushi.
Hey, it's me, Michelle, and today I'll be playing Sushi, who is our cat, and also doesn't understand pronouns, so they're they, them today, please respect them. And if not, get scratched.
All right, and last, but certainly not least, Leona.
Hello, I am Leona, and today I am playing Neela, who is our... Oh, heck, I just had it in front of me, and then the word slipped from my brain. I am the provider playbook.
Awesome. Well, without further ado, sit back, relax, and imagine with us the world within you. So, last time we spent a good amount of time getting to know our rogues and coming to understand what struggles they're dealing with in their daily life, and also just taking a moment to kind of peek at what they were doing. We also stepped in for a little bit on our current target, the vassal Quentin Allegra. I think I'm going to sort of just turn it over to y'all in this moment. We've had the opportunity to see Quentin at home. We understand a little bit more of what his plans are and how he plans to take over one of the major broadcasting boards during the Halloween festival in order to boost his own reputation at the expense of some of your contacts. If I'm remembering this correctly, we still have a few more daily actions that y'all can take, and or rebel actions where you actually go after your vassal/target. Does anybody want to go first? And what actions would y'all like to take?
Well, I believe we have enough that we can delve into darkness, I believe is what the move is called. Or dive into darkness, excuse me. And I
Yes.
think that's where we were at last time. We're going to do that?
That sounds good to me. Is that every... Okay, so when we dive into darkness, each of you is going to get to choose whether or not you participate in actuality, or whether or not you send kind of like a projection of yourself into the castle. For this first one, I think it would be best if we all went. But if somebody does think that they have another action that they would like to take in the city, let me know now, and we can discuss the rules for what it looks like when you send a projection instead. Are we all ready to dive in?
I believe so.
I see.
I think I'm ready.
I see a nod. Okay. Cool. So, you all are going to be looking for a place where this barrier between reality and the castle is at its thinnest. And I think you find yourselves like out on the street looking for a place to tag, as that is how you cross that barrier. Off of one of the main market streets, you find pretty much the perfect place. There is a big, wide, empty brick wall. And if the building that you're standing in front of weren't there, you would be able to see the whole of the area where you all live in Etteridge City. All the way out to, like, the largest towers. And, of course, if the building weren't there, you would be able to see the entire set of streets where this Halloween market takes place. So, what do each of you bring, and how do each of you contribute to doing this specific mural? As you paint, you're inspired by carnivals, by tents, by big tops, by traveling shows. And that's kind of the thing that is pulled out of you as you paint. So what does that look like for every single one of you? Let's start with Sushi.
So, I think Sushi has like, mouth dragged over, like giant buckets full of paint over, and it's just sort of like first like stamping their paws into the paint, and then just starting to like basically put like down like a paw print, sort of like boo, in sort of like almost like a pointillism kind of theme of like the ground, and then like with it like in their mouth they've got like a bunch of yarn, and they're sort of like sticking, the like a big top circus has like the yarn string lights going in between, and it's just starting to like frame out sort of like the buildings within yarn.
Yeah, very, very cool. Next, Dan, what are you contributing? What is Scott painting?
Scott is painting a facsimile of a big brass band on a central stage, with a very flamboyantly dressed conductor leading them, and musical notes complete with staves flowing out from emanating from them.
Yeah, very, very cool. The marching band, you can like almost hear it distantly as you paint and that leader, you can in your mind's eye, or maybe on the painting itself, you can see them twirl their baton. Jovan, what are you adding?
Well, look, it's a circus without a crowd. I think it's a lot of silhouetted people, but the only thing, they don't look entirely human on purpose. It's these spectators that have kind of elongated heads, and the eye is, instead of horizontal, it's vertical. And it's just one, as they are just almost like a camera lens, just staring at whatever's going to happen in the center of this mural.
Yeah. All right. What does Jordan add, Tate?
Well, I'll be the one to take the plunge, and maybe Jordan would be too. Clowns. There's a lot of like weird, lerpy, elongated clowns at impossible angles, sort of woven in between the musical notes and the band. I think Jordan specifically never draws a full person. It's always like obvious limbs and faces sticking out from things, like an kind of hidden clown.
Yeah.
Which is kind of terrifying and unsettling, I think. He does bring paint cans that he got from Neela earlier.
Excellent.
Also gives one back to her sheepishly, like, here, sir, you lost all your stuff.
It's cool. I'll figure it out. Thanks, though.
And as you take that paint can back, Neela, what do you add?
Hopefully it's a yellow or orange can. I feel like I want to add some marigolds and add a little vibrancy and brightness to the moment.
Yeah.
A
So,
little bit of decor, if you will.
yeah. So, in the corners and the foreground, in between the cobblestones that come together with the pointillism of Sushi's paw prints, we see those flowers blooming out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's as if they're slightly choked by the crowds and by the clowns and by the marching band. There's an intensity and a darkness in what you all are putting together. And slowly, the space in front of you transforms, and you can start to see the wind billow through the flags on top of the tents. You can see movement of those clown shapes. A hand appearing here, moving something to another spot in the background. You catch the glints of a hall of mirrors. Everybody. Who is leading the charge across this border?
I believe Jordan volunteered.
Hey, Jordan.
I believe Jordan will always volunteer constantly. He does not like to wait around, and as soon as he can, he just... But I want to be the one to do that and take it from you guys.
Okay. So, Jordan, I need you to make a check against blood.
All right. Strong hit.
All right. So, you're going to appear in in the shard in a safe space. Every single rebel is going to take on their castle form with their signature weapon and gear. As we arrive there, I'm going to ask each of you to describe how your appearance may or may not have changed since last time. And because this was a strong hit, you all are going to arrive with advantage on your first attempt to travel the labyrinth. But with that... Oh, thanks, music.
Wow, it ended kind of at the right moment.
Yeah. Off in the distance, as you
Ooh, I love
step
and hate
forward, the circus unfurls before you. It is a space that is white and black and red, as simple as these tents and flags can possibly be. It feels like some of the color is sucked from the world as you enter. And you find yourself looking ahead. A grand vista full of excitement and anticipation. You are made small by the size of these circus tents. Way off in the distance, you can see the big top itself, where the main show would happen. Throngs of people headed there. A Ferris wheel is off on one side, a roller coaster curving in and through it, moving as the Ferris wheel itself moves. You also see fences constraining you and pushing you towards and away from certain parts of the city that you would know. This is a twisted view of this portion of the city. And you can tell it's keeping you away from the wealthiest parts, except for at the foot of the big top. So, one at a time. What do y'all look like when you arrive here, and what do you do?
If you guys don't mind, since I ran in first, I think that like the first thing we see as the camera pans over this is out from wherever we're coming out of. There is a like black and red blur for just an instant, and Jordan sort of, with his flexible sort of ribbon sword unfurling from his hand, he immediately hooks himself up onto like a stall. Like it's just like a small tent that's probably supposed to be a ticket stall. I think maybe as a small detail, there's some like text on the side that shows it is actually Jordan's, like an equivalent of Jordan's stall in the real world a little bit. But yeah, Jordan is in his same outfit with like the thin black pants, the white shirt. He has this quicksilver mask that covers his whole face, but kind of imitates his expression. But now he has a bright red, like poofy shoulders 80s jacket, also made out of this quicksilver material. That when he moves, it moves just splits just a little bit behind him, like it trails just a little while keeping its shape. And the jacket is like metallic bright red. And he's just hanging there from the top, like looking, trying to take this all in.
Yeah, you can kind of get up. There are poles here with flags on them.
Mm-hmm.
You can scramble up one of those and see a little bit further
I imagine
in.
it's tall.
Yeah.
I'm imagining it's cartoonishly like thin and just kind of like a little tower almost.
It kind of
Bends a
bends
little.
as you scramble
For
up
sure.
it. Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Who's next? Who comes in after?
Give you all a lot of time to think about
I'll
this.
go. Bold of you to assume that we think.
Couldn't be me.
I'll go next.
Couldn't be me.
As Scott crosses the threshold, his long black coat extends from his shoulders, and since the victory over the last vassal, he now has a one of those old timey hats with the feather in it.
Is this like a Robin Hood hat?
Yeah, is this Robin Hood
No.
or Gangster? I want to know.
More like the wide brim type of hat. Not
Oh, like Three
not
Musketeers.
yeah, Three Musketeers.
Okay. Cool. Please continue.
Spree had it before I did. She got it.
Oh yeah. And as Scott enters, I use my birds to basically lift me up on top of a tent, much like Jordan has with his cane sword, or with his.
I imagine it's the same tent, and now it's bending a little more.
Quick, get to the other side to balance it out.
We're not doing a balancing act while everyone else arrives.
Yeah, you take on a bit of the mien of like acrobats as you're up there.
I can go next if no one
Hit
wants
it.
to volunteer. All right. Like last time, there's the simple-looking shoes and the extremely baggy, wind-blown pants. But the upper body has sort of a more close. It's like a long sleeved, almost like an upper bodysuit a bit, and then there's a vest over it, with of course the scarf that trails impossibly far behind, billowing in a wind that is just not there, with the ends smoking, just like the inside of the eyes when you look at Joe.
Okay, Sushi, Neela, who's next?
I think Sushi is going to pad in, and Sushi. So the last time you saw Sushi, they were like the size of a house cat, and now they're kind of about as big as a tiger, like very big. Like you could probably sit on Sushi and ride them places if you want. Their face is kind.
I just don't tempt me because I will.
I mean, you could. Sushi's big enough to carry you.
Want to hug?
That's the question. Is Sushi still built like a house cat or built like a real big cat now? Like, did she just get bigger, or did they just get bigger?
I think Sushi could you can sort of see their muscles kind of twitch a little bit. You think like they could, right? Like if they just finagled a little bit, like you can see like their tail twitching a little bit as they sort of switch between this weird like their musculature seems malleable in this space. And they've got like a face that's like colored a bit like a palette, and their tail has like a little bit of tuft that looks like it's been dipped in color, and they've still got that dial collar from Neela that's currently around their neck.
I love it. I love it.
And that leaves you, Neela.
That does. Neela is seriously being distracted by a big kitty and be like, "Oh my gosh, creatures!" Like, this is great. And then she goes, "Oh wait, wait, we're in the castle, right? Yeah, that's that. Is that where we are? Is that right? You did. And is the question what's new this time? This time Neela has her sequined Sailor Senshi defensive clothing on, and she's kind of got her magical girl glaive strapped to the back of it. I feel like she's also just got a braid in her hair, and it's just full of marigolds. Like she's just really becoming that ethos of Mandelas and marigolds, and she's feeling that vibe very strongly today. So she's got marigolds in her hair.
Awesome. Okay.
I think in response to what she says, just castle seemed more appropriate a term for the last one, but
I mean,
circus a step up or down? What do you think?
I don't know. It still
Maybe
feels
we'll find a bouncy castle somewhere.
It feels like a castle vibe to me, especially since I'm, back in my outfit. Guess that's a common thing now. I don't mind, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying we look good.
Yeah. Just take a group selfie or something. I don't think
any of you try to take out your phones?
I don't know if the phones work in the castle, and I'm not gonna try it, but she just says it kind of.
Yeah, I'll find out.
100% it's the very first thing. Well, yeah, as soon as you say it, Jordan doesn't even think about it. He just pulls his phone out.
The everything except for reception, phone reception is there. However, if you try to go on the internet, it also is a little bit funky.
What's this Wi-Fi network?
A sailor
I still
since
can get my Duolingo dailies, is what you're saying.
I mean, you need to.
And also, maybe we don't want incriminating evidence of us doing this thing. I don't know that there's laws against this, but it does feel like maybe we shouldn't.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but also we graffiti, so fuck it. Sailor Senshi.
Yeah. That's all that Jordan needs to be convinced.
Getting themselves in that either.
and his he makes his sword into a selfie stick. It like bends around his phone, and he's gonna hold it up. Cheese. He doesn't wait for people to pose.
Oh,
Say cheese and hit the button.
Flo was ready. She was ready and waiting. Okay.
Yeah.
Big cat just sitting on haunches.
Oh,
Artists in the audience, please, I want to see it.
please.
I'll make a note and see if I can do it.
Hey. Yeah, so takes the picture just fine. You come back and look at it. It looks like all of you in your outfits. If we were playing Persona, this is one of those like text message photos that you get like after the event. But for now, you're in the carnival, and in front of you all is a sort of entrance tent, and hung from the outside of the tent is the words Hall of Mirrors, and that's kind of the next space should you choose to proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Halls
always
of
like
Mirrors.
Hall of Mirrors. They're funny.
I hated them as a kid.
Really?
I thought they were.
They
Maybe
gave me a
this.
headache.
Maybe this one won't be so bad.
Yeah, Sushi's just gonna walk right in and be like, "What is this weird? Like, is this me?" And just like,
I mean,
Well, I
if
get
you
it
can
because
scratch
why?
out the mirrors, that might make it easier to travel.
So as he's walking in, just like, hey, because the castle in the previous version was so much more normal than castles normally are, is the line he says as he walks in.
That's a good
At least
point.
that one was a castle.
I think you can
Until
see
it
like
was a
Sushi just like, with a-
storybook and a witch's hut.
Alright. I will conveniently wait to be behind everybody else.
All right.
Okay.
Well, if we're
What's
If
the
we're
order,
needing
just
to
out of
navigate-
curiosity?
I think Sushi's
Sushi
going in
Jordan.
first.
Sushi Jordan. What were you saying again?
if we're needing to navigate on uncertain path, Scott is going to send some of his birds out in front to see what's a wall and what's not a wall.
I will go
Very
behind
smart,
Jordan.
and not the thing Jordan was going to do. Oh, good. Jordan was going to wait until he faced first into some mirror and then was going to figure out how to deal with that.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
in normal halls and mirrors, they sometimes make you wear gloves so you can't smudge the mirrors. I don't see
Really?
anyone making us wear gloves this time.
Licks the mirror immediately.
You cat's got
So you walk in, and of course there's a few of the normal sort of Hall of Mirrors hallways. Nobody's making you wear gloves, but despite your best efforts, smudging the mirrors seems impossible. This space defies standard logic. However, as you move past those first couple hallways, it branches out into a massive, feels like the inside of a disco ball. And impossibly, the street was level outside. There are descending stairs going every which direction, covered on every surface with this mirrory coating. It is...
an OSHA violation.
Yeah, I don't like that.
They're absolutely not hand railings either. It is... This music is inappropriate for what's going on here.
First Speaker's music was very appropriate.
Yeah. So the space as it opens up is this inside of a disco ball with paths going up, down, left, right, and center. Now, Jovan, you're at the back, and as everybody else moves into the space, for a moment you get separated, and
Oh, I hate that.
It's not long. It's not long. What is something that Jovan feels insecure about?
Oh boy. To pick one, that is quite the quite the choice. Since this is mirrors, I think let's go with personal things. I think a physical thing that Jovan has always had a weird thing about is, growing up in a society that has very different beauty standards, they are not a big fan of the way their nose is shaped.
Yeah. So, with your permission, Hall of Mirrors, the space twists around that perception of Jovan's and exaggerates the parts of you that make you feel awkward and vulnerable and ashamed. And you're stuck in it for this small moment until you see one of your friends around the corner and you look back to the mirror. And it's back to being a warped version of you, but not one that is preying on you.
I think Jovan just shuts their eyes for a second before going to join everyone.
Moment of just looking over all these glass staircases and just, I no longer like mirror houses.
You liked them in the first place?
I did. I thought they were funny. Although I've never seen one with gloves, so maybe I could just see all the mirrors.
It doesn't taste good.
You're still licking them,
That's
though.
amazing. To prove a point. I mean, Jordan isn't going to sit still, so I think this way, he is going to try and make his best guess as to the best way through this.
Okay. Does anybody follow?
Think we should split up?
I think that might be a terrible idea.
That sounds bad.
I did Jordan mid-step. I don't know about that. I hoped you guys were following.
Immediate pivot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always plan B, and I'll just hold a handful of fire. We could just blast our way out.
But that even works.
Let's-
So she just bangs ahead.
That is a plan C. Yeah.
Is this a travel the labyrinth moment?
Yes, potentially.
Okay.
I think there are several ways that you could approach this problem, but traveling the labyrinth is one open to you. Are you willing to lead the group through it?
Yeah, I'm not sure how, but I'd be willing to try.
What does it look like when you take charge?
Is there any way that Neela could get a sense of which way to go? I feel like she would be the most willing to lead if she has this gut instinct or a feeling. She's oh, I think it's this way. Something just kind of hits her oh, I think I know where to go. And at that point she'd be willing. She'd go, okay, guys, I think I know where to go. Can I give this a shot?
Big dramatic bow.
I mean, people navigate by the stars. Why can't the stars navigate themselves? Come on, let's go.
Hey.
Was that a flirt?
I think it was mostly a pun, but sure.
I mean, seemed like a compliment.
Leans over to Joe. Take the credit, man. Take the credit.
It wasn't intentional. I was genuinely just trying to make a pun.
I mean, it seemed like a compliment at the least.
Imagine this is the conversation as we are going forward, but
Yes, and with compliment in tow, she will attempt to travel the labyrinth.
Okay. So I would say that you have not spent time studying the vassal. You have not defeated an enforcer, but are you willing to mark void here?
I am willing to mark void because.
Okay, so you're
Oh
going to
God.
be rolling 2d6 with a -1.
Oh heck! No, isn't it a +1 if you mark void or else roll -1?
It's or else for each of them. So the
Oh.
only way to travel the labyrinth with a +3 is to mark void, have studied the vassal, and to have defeated an enforcer.
Ooh, I see. Okay, sorry. Could you say that roll one more time for me? 2d6?
2d6 -1. Also, for everybody in the audience, this is one of the ways that Voidheart Symphony controls the pace of these dungeons. I like it. It's great. How'd that go?
Leona rolls
That's
2
super.
sixes.
Are y'all okay?
Casual 11.
That's a strong hit. I love it. So, you are exploring. While you're exploring, you always reach a place that it reveals a hidden truth about the vassal. On a 10+, I'm going to pick one from a pick list that we can see. So, you arrive in a new space. What does it look like as you're traveling this labyrinth? How do you lead everybody? You see down in the distance the light of day for a moment as somebody pulls aside a curtain. And through the disco ball of the Hall of Mirrors, you can lead the group down towards where you saw that.
Yeah, I think
Is it sticking to the paths? Are you being acrobatic? What does it look like?
I think she's sticking to the paths. It's almost like she's just kind of like, I think she's like put her hands out in front of her and like beside her, and she's kind of like feeling her way and like making sure that like if she's touching wall, then she knows that she needs to keep going forward, you know?
Yeah.
Trusting that gut instinct and also like her senses kind of in this moment.
Yeah, as you move forward, you can feel the labyrinth shifting underneath you of this Hall of Mirrors. But each time it tries to divert you and confuse you, you find your North Star, your gut instinct that's telling you this is the right way out.
Okay.
And as you exit, you all spill out into a sort of viewing gallery. This place is it is nervous making is I guess the best way I have of putting that. You see all of these platforms and sideshows surrounding you. Each of them has a performance going on. Those clowns from the painting, many of them are here. In fact, some of them are people that you recognize. People from the videos that Quentin produces. You see them replaying the actions in their video again and again and again. And on the periphery, you see these hooded figures watching for when one of the acts starts to fail. And somebody, specifically a teacher, who has been recently featured in one of these videos, his performance starts to flag. People stop paying attention to it. And these figures from the side move in, and they pass in front of, between you and this clown portrait actor of the teacher. And when they make it to the other side, there is nobody on that platform anymore.
Out of curiosity, is like the art style of the clown similar to what I painted? Like, is it the same colors?
There is similarity. Yeah. If I can
immediately. Oh, sorry. No, yeah.
When you all are painting these things, images come sometimes unbidden to you. Those clowns that you painted were things that felt like they came from a little bit your own imagination, but you're like, you look back at it and you're like, how did I come up with this? In the way that sometimes creative work does. But in this case, these were inhabitants of the space that you moved into. They have this modeled Their outfits are modeled with white and blues and yellows and oranges, but it's all in service of looking like this black and white uniform that fixes them in the circus.
Although I still think Jordan would say very quickly, like, well, I immediately regret my artistic decisions.
I don't know if you really caused the clowns or clowns
not.
caused the art.
Probably not, but they're unsettling to everyone else, right? Not just me?
Listen, regular clowns serve an important function in society. These ones I'm not a fan of.
Interesting take. All right. I don't know. What? Do we do something about this? Last time we just went up and punched a lady.
I don't think we can do that again.
What can we do? Like, they're not real people. Even if they represent them, they're not.
I mean, the
Are they?
problem.
I don't know. They.
I was just gonna say. I mean, the problem isn't these people, is it? It's the person who's creating the videos, right?
Yeah, but he only. I mean, look. If this is an extended metaphor, he only
Problem's
keeps
not
the circus
clowns.
open by the people watching.
It's the ringmaster.
Yeah, it's the ringmaster.
You could always try talking to them. This space is full of metaphor, and these things happening in front of you, I think on some level you understand that these are representative of Quentin's perception of the world. But they seem to have an autonomy of sorts. You can, on close examination, you see the fresher videos where they're getting lots of attention. The clowns in those performances seem like they are genuinely enjoying the work and the attention from the crowds. The ones who have been there a long time, even if they're still getting a lot of views, you can tell that they look haggard and tired. Whatever else is going on with these figments, they experience the space and they experience time. So it may be worth trying to talk to some, if not all, figments in these castle shards.
Well, first of all, is
I mean, I
anybody
have-
afraid of clowns? Like, is there someone that shouldn't be talking to these folks?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm okay with that, I think, as long as they don't try to do anything weird.
I can just eat
I
them.
also have an idea,
Dang
but
it.
I don't want to keep center stage
I'll
here.
store that one for in the back pocket.
That's
I'll
a plan B.
approach one. Why not?
Okay. So tell me about the character that you approach and tell me what you say to them.
I didn't decide on a specific one to approach. So I will let you roll at random if you want.
I'm mostly looking for you to help me imagine what type of person you're drawn to. Old, young, somebody you recognize, somebody you don't.
I think somebody young, and I may not recognize them. But I think I'm just gonna approach them and be like, "Excuse me, can I talk to you?"
And as they kind of repeat the same action, they look at you, they look at the edge of the room where one of those figures in, like, obscured clothing is moving. I have to keep performing.
Oh. Guys, can we get rid of the figures? And she points to the ones at the edges of the room. She says she has to keep performing.
No.
No?
They're dangerous.
Oh. And she kind of starts mimicking her actions. I'm kind of doing the same thing. Can I perform with you? Can we talk if I perform with you?
Yeah, here, take this prop. And you're handed a dodgeball. and she's like, "Go over there and just throw it at my face." And that hit becomes you throwing the dodgeball. Go ahead and what is?
I don't feel good about any of this. Like, I feel icky as hell.
That was a little cruel, Neela. You didn't have to throw it that hard.
I didn't want
Oh,
to.
you're doing great. You're doing great. What did you want to know?
I don't. Why? How can I help you?
Go ahead and roll with cups because I think you're reaching out here.
Whoop. Yes, that's a regular roll. Yes. As a weak hit, a 9.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, pick a cost. Your mind touches the vassals, in which case you mark heat. The shard pushes back. Minions or enforcers will be coming. Or the bond that you form with this character feeds on you. And you will mark a condition.
Heck. Sorry, is that for connect?
That is for
No.
reaching out.
Reaching out, okay. I'm trying to make sure I find the right thing and look at the right thing. Where is that? I'm so sorry. Where would I find that?
It should be under Castle Delve moves. It's the
Or actually, it's under Castle Exploration moves. It's the last
Yeah,
one.
it's exploration moves, reach out.
Oh, there it is. Thank you.
We will get the opportunity to see what this caricature means to the vassal. You'll be able to call on them for aid in the future. But for now, you have to pick what the impending cost is, and we will work that in.
I think the bond feeds on me. I will mark a condition that feels right for kind of how shitty she feels in the moment.
Yeah. Tell me, what condition are you marking?
Oh, Jesus, I forgot already how to condition. I think she feels... I'm debating between cowed and insecure. Your choice.
Let's go with cowed.
All right.
Your show of force, you feel like you're hurting this person that you don't want to hurt, and you're like, am I too strong to do this in here? Should I be doing this? So yeah, you're feeling gun shy because of it.
That makes sense.
So tell me. So as you kind of talk to this vassal, what are you asking? Remind me. What can you do to help?
Yes, I want to know how I can help.
Well, we perform because the better we perform, the more likely it is that we'll be able to go over there. And she jerks her head towards the big top.
She gets
What's
with the
over
ball.
there?
Over there? No, there.
There.
What's over there?
It's the big top. Anybody who's anybody can go there. But first, you gotta do your time over here. It's working up to something.
And what happens when you get over there?
I don't know, but it must be better than this.
I hope so.
I hear that if you're in the big top, nobody asks you to perform ever. And you get to hang out. Nobody makes you do anything that you don't want to do. Quick, throw the ball, they're coming.
Oh gosh, and she throws the ball and she misses. She tries to intentionally miss them.
Ah, okay. You notice that nobody, even though you're performing with this minion, the small group that was paying attention is starting to wander away, and one of those figures starts moving over here. Oh no. Oh jeez.
Okay, I'll try again. She grabs the ball again. She's like, God damn it! Like she's gotta hit them again with it, and she'll like try really hard to like make sure she aims it right this time.
And you do. But the obscured person walks up and then starts heckling the both of you. Oh man, look at her face! Oh, what a dweeb! And more people start coming and shouting those same things. These people there's a crowd of just jeering people. Well, the attention's worth something, right?
I guess I think because I am cowed, I am not and overwhelmed. I'm not brave enough to like stand in front of her and shield her. But I will do my best to stand next to her, even though like there's a genuine wobble in my stance. Like this is really hard for me to do right now.
Yeah. At the back of that crowd, way off on the edge, you see something coming. It's massive. Person shaped, but it is beelining towards you. And that puts fear into the eyes of this figment. She looks at you and she says, "That's trouble. This is going to get a whole lot bigger very quickly."
What do I do? What can we do?
Well, I just don't want to be here when that gets here.
Can you come with me? Are you you're stuck here, aren't you?
I never
Can you
thought about leaving.
Try coming
Normally,
with me.
you have to get permission.
Well, let's try it. Come with me.
And you take them by the hand and you start moving away. The people in the crowd, the rest of you, probably nearby, notice that the crowd moves from like jeering to genuine anger. And suddenly they're throwing things at the two of you as you try to make your way out of here. Hey, put her back on the stage. We weren't done. We weren't done here.
No, she's coming with me.
But we could go backstage.
Let's go.
It's off that way. You're still being pelted with things. I would like you to tell me how you avoid getting bogged down in this crowd.
I was thinking that she's taking some of the hits and she's dodging them. Oh yeah. What's up, guys?
Can we do anything to help?
You absolutely
I would
could.
love to help with that.
All right.
And I had a thought.
So, when Scott, I also have a thought actually.
Let's have Dan take it.
All right. When Scott sees them start throwing things, he's going to use his birds to shield the two of them from the oncoming projectiles. Basically, they fly over and sort of make like a wall between them and the audience.
Okay.
Yeah. That sounds like you're trying to power through to me. You're using your abilities to protect your friend. So go ahead and roll plus swords.
All right. Oh boy. I missed.
Okay, so in this case, I think what ends up happening is this crowd around you sees you trying to like protect them, and suddenly, where this was a sort of standoff, it very quickly becomes an actual like proper fight between you all and these minions, while that huge hulking shape in the back moves quicker and quicker towards you all. So, as this fight kicks up, who would like to act first?
I mean, I always have a thought immediately, but
Take it.
yeah, I think Jordan very quickly looks at the situation and says to the other four, just, I think I got the crowd. Handle big thing. And he's actually going to sprint like across the front of this crowd and sort of whip his sword down into a hook, and he's basically attempting to trip as many of them as possible, or like sometimes the hook goes up and like pulls at the top of hoods downwards. This is not like he's trying to strike them all. He's trying to very quickly trip them on top of each other, pull things in front of faces, stuff like that.
Cool. So... This sounds like pressure. You're trying to pressure them.
Sure thing. So, weak hit.
Weak hit. Okay, on a 7 to 9, pick one. You expose an opening, you pin them in place, or you give an ally a window to act freely.
Yeah, I think this is giving an ally a window to act freely. Like I'm trying to get their attention so that they're not focused on my friends.
Okay. And I assume that you're specifically trying to give that window to Neela. Or do you think anybody could take advantage of this?
I think that anyone can, because the crowd's sort of harassing everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
It's only going to be long enough for one person, whoever does next, but...
Yeah. The crowd is in disarray. They don't know where to direct their attention. To some extent, they've lost track of where Neela and her companion were headed, but they are still angry and lashing out, sometimes at each other, sometimes at you. It's rapidly degrading into like a brawl, both among these minions and anybody in their path.
Yeah, come on, follow the big shiny distraction.
So, what do you do?
If no one else has any ideas, I think what Sushi's gonna do is they're gonna like plant themselves right between Neela and the crowd, and then just like you said, like this really big shadow coming by, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think what Sushi's gonna do is get a little bit distracted by like this huge shadow and just like observe it, like like when a cat is just staring at like a laser light.
Yes.
It's like the inverse.
Oh my god.
It's active observing.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me line it up with coins.
All right.
Wait, hold on.
Roll it. That's a 7.
That's a 7. Okay, pick one. A foe sends an attack your way. The opening is only going to last for a few moments. Or the foe sees you and you get fleeting disadvantage on striking.
I think we'll take foe sees like big giant cat just staring at them. I think that makes sense. Like it's just very big, like I don't know, like you have like a big colorful thing in the middle of a stage where everything else is like moving around and this one thing is just not moving.
Okay, yes.
Also, if I may, it'd be kind of fun if Sushi literally grew a little bit more in preparation for this and is now, like, oversized.
Yes. Sushi is now big. Like you could probably fit like 2 or 3 people on Sushi's back right now.
Yes.
Wait, sorry. Which option did you pick?
The foe sees Sushi get fleeting disadvantage on strike.
Okay. So, yeah, you grow a little bit. You're eye to eye with them, and you see them like lumbering towards you. They're huge. Have you ever played the Spider-Man game from the PS4? Okay, we're talking like Hulk proportions person. Their hood slides off, and they have a shark head. It's basically like a straight up street shark headed at you. And you see their pupils dilate as suddenly amongst this crowd there is blood on the ground, and they are coming in to take advantage of the chaos. So, do you want to strike now, or does somebody else want to have a go?
I'd love to take a strike at the shark.
Yeah, go for it.
I think the hand just goes under the vest, and the arc of flame comes out like a whip. God, I don't remember ordering the seafood platter, and I'm gonna try and strike at the shark.
Yeah, it sounds like you're acting directly, so roll plus swords, please.
Awesome.
Also, what is
right.
advantage here, considering I gave
It's
one
3
friend
die,
advantage?
right?
I want to make sure we're not...
Advantage is for you next time you explore the labyrinth.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I got a weak hit.
A weak hit, okay. So, on any hit, you're going to remove the opening, great, and you break one of the foe's qualities. This foe only has one quality, which is its frenzy. So what does it look like as you take down this shark creature as it's about to frenzy in the middle of the crowd?
I think as the arc of flame wraps around one side, we're like superhuman, right? Like we can move and act very quickly. I think Joe jumps up on the other side, grabs the arc of flame as it wraps around, and just pulls and yanks this thing to fall on its back.
Awesome. Yeah. It's a whole like David and Goliath situation. Okay. And you said that was a weak hit, right?
Yes.
I think I would like you to yeah, I want you to mark a condition for me. You're in the way as this thing is falling. What effect does that have on you?
I think because of where it was in the crowd, when Joe gets up, they're surrounded by tons of these shadowy figures. So maybe overwhelmed?
Okay, overwhelmed, great. All right. You still have the crowd to deal with. Neela, you have a figment that you're trying to ferry off into safety. What do we do?
If everyone else has gotten a chance to kind of do their thing, I'm definitely gonna keep trying to usher her into relative safety. Yeah, and maybe that's a dodge too.
Yeah, that does sound like you are trying to dodge.
Okay. And since Heck did give me a +2, I'm gonna add that +2 to this. So that would be an 8 + 2.
Okay, so that's a 10. On a 10, pick one. You're going to be separated from your allies, you're going to stumble, gaining fleeting disadvantage, or you're going to leave something valuable behind.
I think I am separated.
Great. I love that. There is still a fight going on. Neela, we will talk about where you end up in just a moment. The rest of you, there is a crowd brawling at this point. Fighting each other, fighting you. If it doesn't get under control in a hot second, people are going to start getting hurt. Chiefly you. What do you do?
Well, I'm happy to continue to try and occupy the crowd, but now I think, unless you guys have something you want to do with that, I feel like maybe you can handle the big shark guys. Or big shark guy.
Big shark guy is actually handled.
Oh.
Can I eat it?
All right.
You had an opening. You converted that to get rid of its trait. And when
I didn't
a
realize
minion
it
has
was
no more traits, then it's done.
Okay. All right.
So we just have the crowd to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to try and make an opening for you guys. So, like, the same way that Jordan was tripping people and, like, putting hoodies down over their head, all that stuff, I think that he almost just starts doing the reverse of that. Like, someone starts to try and punch someone, and this, like, hook end of the sword just sort of pushes their arm down. Or someone's about to fall over, and he just rushes under and puts, like, he makes the blade like a spring, so they just sort of spring back up. He is trying to be everywhere at the same time, but the opposite of the thing.
Interesting. It sounds like you might be intercepting a foe's attack. Here.
Yeah, I guess if they're all foes of themselves.
Yeah. I warn you that if you do this, I am going to make you push through the pain because currently the crowd has an opening on you. Which will cause you to roll plus conditions marked. You don't have any conditions marked right now, so that's...
I have 2 conditions marked.
Oh, you have 2 conditions marked. Never mind.
Yeah.
That could get nasty. So unless you change your angle, that is a potential consequence here. Is that still acceptable? Actually, this is a potential consequence, since they have an opening on you, of basically anything that you do. I'm letting you know beforehand that when you act, if you miss, that's going to happen.
Okay. But I have another idea because it might actually fill up my friends more. If the big guy is done, is there like one of these acting platforms that he can get up on top of that I can sort of jump there?
Oh yeah. There's an empty one where Neela and the Figment were just performing.
Okay. And instead, I think it's jump up there, and then making the sword as like whip-like as possible is just going to, like, the loudest sound he can possibly make, just to get everyone's attention and be like, "Stop it here! Acting like animals."
Okay. And you're...
I'm
Yeah.
actually trying to get their attention, and if it works, I have a shadow move.
Okay, yeah, you have their attention.
Oh yeah, then well, it just says made you look. When you make yourself the center of attention, mark void and pick one. And I was going to pick your enemy ignores your allies to see if it gives these guys a chance to do something.
Yes. I will call that an opening for y'all. As you draw all the attention to you, the crowd starts surging towards the platform, scrambling to get on top of it, crawling over each other to try and mess with you.
I love the image. This is like resonating metallic sheet whip sound. And he says, "Stop it, you animals!" And there's like a moment of pause, and they all just turn towards him and start rushing him. It's like, nope, that backfired. Nope.
Who's going to step in?
So I have an idea. So I got a lot of birds, and there's a lot of them. And my birds are paper.
Mhm.
So
Fact.
what if I just tried to pilot each of my birds so they all just fly into the faces of everyone in the crowd and cover up their eyes?
I love this. That sounds like stealth and guile as you strike at them. Do you think that sounds like what you're trying to do?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay, go ahead and roll strike with wands.
Oh, great, my other bad stat.
Ooh, you got a strong hit.
Hey.
What was the roll?
12.
A 12.
12.
Hey. Excellent. Yeah, tell me what this looks like as you kind of like calm or disperse the crowd with these paper birds.
All right, so so from where Jordan is standing, I while they're all rushing him, all right, I send my birds basically up from under the platform and out, and they basically form like a cloud around the crowd as they all kind of just tie them, basically like fly like wingspan first, to just try and cover up the eyes of everyone in the.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you got for that?
No, I was kind of just hoping to disorient them.
They are disoriented. The like directed anger of the crowd very quickly dissipates back down into
a bunch of people who are charging at a specific point suddenly can't see. I imagine there's a fair amount of tripping over each other.
They yes, exactly. They all start tripping over each other. They were crawling over each other before, but now it's like a more ineffectual kind of stumbling past. You, Jordan, are able to basically just like hop out, using that whip to like pull yourself away, as the crowd kind of collapses and everybody in it is like, no. Without something to focus their anger on, they lose all steam pretty much immediately. And that is where we'll point the camera elsewhere. So...
Oh, thanks so much for saving me. Oh.
That's not the right song for this.
I'll be like, oh.
So, elsewhere, and this will be the last thing we do before we go to break. Neela, you arrive in what look like a series of dressing rooms. There are makeup artists and performers switching out of costumes, putting things on to make them look like something that they aren't. Some people are covering up what they consider to be blemishes. Some people are changing the shape of their face, the shape of their body, the clothes that they're wearing from shabby to new, getting their faces made up like a clown to have a happy face on all the time. You find yourself stumbling into this place with your friend, and they say, "Oh, we got away. You can relax here. This is where people come when they're ready to do something bigger. You don't have to be weak here. You can be whatever you want. I'm just..."
Like, is this the kind of place that people come before the big top, or do you get to come here too?
Oh, I don't normally get to come here. But yeah, some people come here before they go to the big top. All you've got to do is make yourself into something that they want to see. And with that, I think we're ready to go to our first break. Thank you, everybody, for supporting us in this first half, and we will see you in just a few minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are, once again, the world within you. I am Legendary Vermin, and as always, this show streams in support of charities. Specifically this week, the whole of Neon Lights Roleplay is streaming in support of Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is an incredibly important organization that has its foundings way back, ages, like what, over 70, 80 years ago. Planned Parenthood offers all sorts of services to people who are of medical age of consent, including access to sexual health information and treatments, such as birth control, or hormone therapies for people with conditions like PCOS. Also, access to hormone replacement therapy for trans people, abortions, various educational programs. They also do the hard and ever important work of making sure that people with uteruses in our country their interests are advanced at local, state, and national levels. They are one of the organizations that fights the hardest in the fight to maintain access to legal, safe abortions. I have been the beneficiary of many programs through Planned Parenthood, including their excellent sex education programs. And I really, really encourage you during this time where the rights of trans people, people with uteruses, women generally, are under assault, that you donate to Planned Parenthood so that they can make that money work, not just in your local neighborhood, but all across the United States and into Canada. With that said, we have a Tiltify link. Go ahead, check that out. And if you're watching this on the VOD, make a donation anyway, because they're still great. With that said, we're going to zoom back in on our good friend, Neela. Neela, you find yourself in the dressing areas. Like we said earlier, your friend has just told you, you can find anything that you need to reshape yourself here. And if you play your cards right, and you make yourself look like what they want to see, you can go in to the big top. Let's ask a quick question of Neela.
Yes.
While we're here. What, similar to what we asked Jovan earlier, what is something that makes Neela insecure?
I think she definitely also feels that pressure to perform and fit in, and so everything that is being said about how this is a place where you can make yourself into something that they want to see. It's not what I want to see. It's not about what Neela wants. It's about what they want. And I think she really deeply feels that. That part really hit home for her. I think that's kind of a struggle that's on the forefront of her mind right now.
What does Neela think that they want to see? What would she have to give up, does she think, to go into the big top?
She's not 100% sure, but to her it feels like she would have to give up a sense of freedom or independence. Or
Okay.
at the very least, that's her big fear, is that might be what she has to give up.
Yeah. Okay. So let's cut back in towards that conversation with that information at the front of our heads. What do you say? What do you do now that you're here and separated from your friends?
I think I sit my friend down again and I say, "What's your name? I didn't get your name."
I'm girl gets hit by dodgeball. Epic fail.
Can I name you Alice? I'm gonna call you that.
Yeah, you could call me Alice. That sounds great.
Okay. I'd like to call you Alice. Well, now that we're away from the scary things that you can't, that we're watching you, Alice, how can I help? How do I get you out of here?
I don't know. I mean, we all dream of being able to go to the big top. I think that would be neat, but it's just not for everybody. You've really got to be something else to get there. I'm just glad to be away from those sharks.
Mm-hmm.
And the followers.
Yeah. I get the feeling that there's something more about this big top that maybe Alice isn't able to answer, and so Neela might at some point want to go and explore that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what else I can ask of Alice. Can I ask her how she got here? Is that a viable question?
Yeah. You can.
Okay.
Well, the ringmaster found me and gave me a shot in the circus.
Oh, I see.
I was a nobody before this, but now I have the chance to be somebody. And even if it's, you know,
Is that
and
what he
her face falls as she starts to say this. Even if it's not my idea of how I wanted this to go, at least I have a shot at becoming somebody.
Is that what he told you?
Oh, he didn't have to tell me that. I just knew it. We all know it. That's how you think too, right? Someday you can be somebody. Or maybe not. Probably better to be somebody than to be a nobody, right?
I think we all feel that way. I don't know if I necessarily think that way.
But how can you just be okay with being a nobody?
No one's a nobody, silly. We're all somebody to someone.
But people will just tell you what to do, even if it's not fun or nice, or even if you don't want to. And her voice shifts, and for a moment you hear Quentin's voice. Even if you don't want to look after your siblings all afternoon, they just tell you that you have to do it. If you're somebody, then nobody can tell you what to do. And her voice is back.
I don't think that's always the case. I mean, yeah, sometimes we gotta do things that we don't like to do, but it won't be that way forever.
And in this moment, you sense a severing. Alice is no longer stuck to the perspective that the castle has placed on her. Whatever makes up the essence of Alice, not being some kind of being, but not of the real world, she is free to make her own decisions about how she sees the world and her place within the circus. With that, let's transition back to the other four. The sort of smoke has died down, and you all find yourselves in the center of a quiet, slightly confused post-fight wreckage in the abattoir gallery.
Did we see which way Neela went?
No, you did
Just ask
not.
that out loud. Did
Where's
any of you
my
see?
human?
No.
Yeah. Oh, I think. I don't think I'm gonna try that maneuver again. Although it was cool.
Yeah, except for the part where it landed on you, it looked pretty cool. Well, pick a direction.
Split up.
Still don't like that idea.
I mean, if we're looking
We're
for,
already a fifth of the way there.
we could split up, I guess, if we're looking for Neela, or maybe just groups of two. I don't know.
Yeah, so as far as finding Neela goes, what I'm going to do is there are many different locations within the castle that I've already pre-written. And if you go looking for her, since none of you have been to the location where She is. I will roll randomly. That is. If you're just exploring and you're not making any other efforts to kind of figure out where she is, or do other things that might lead you to the same place, it will be sort of random whether or not you all find her. You will be able to find each other again if you would like it, because everybody knows this place and how to get back here.
Yeah, so maybe we should split up, or maybe just in groups of 2, huh?
We saw them
compromise.
run backstage. Right.
No, did we though? Like that was the question. If we didn't see where she went, then
She got separated.
Yeah, I know.
So the nature of the move is you all did not see where she got whisked off to, or at least in what direction. And there's also a fair chance that even if you tried to go the same way, you might get lost. So you have not been there, so it is considered unmapped territory to you.
If you don't mind, I think Sushi's gonna try and sniff Neela out.
Okay. Is that a darkness ability?
I mean, so Sushi does have the ability Psycho Pomp, where when I travel a labyrinth, they can mark void to guide the group to or from any individual psyche, the land of the dead, the castle's home realm, or at stranger places still. We don't know. That's Sushi can just kind of do that.
I don't think that Neela's location is one of those types of things. Y'all should be comfortable being a little separated. Separation is drama, gang.
All right, I choose this direction. No one follow me, and I just start walking.
Wait, what happened to going in pairs of 2?
I think
plan
when
changed!
you saying that, it's like
As
Jordan puts the
opposed to
same
pairs of 3.
direction. I will go in this way. I'm not following him, and follow him.
I guess Sushi's just gonna look at
Dad, I guess it's just you and me.
the tired one. All right.
We have put the 2 talkative people together, and the 2 stoic ones together.
Great. Who do we want to focus on first? Let's go with Sushi and Scott.
For it.
Who is leading you all through the labyrinth?
Sushi volunteers.
Probably. Probably me.
Okay.
Okay.
Or I could just be running after Sushi as she runs in whatever direction she chooses.
Barrels into various things. You know what? Let's go with that. If you want, you can like maybe you're sending cranes ahead while Sushi just kind of like, sort of like. I think what Sushi's gonna do is Sushi's gonna actually like pick you up by the scruff of your neck and place you on the back of their like on their back.
You know, I could just get on your back myself.
This is faster, and then Sushi's gonna like just take off at almost a run. And just start running in like a random direction, probably like jumping up on one of like I know you said like there's a couple of stages with like so maybe there's like a stage with like an exit sort of.
There are several like clear exits from here. Yeah.
And so she's gonna like just leap through one of them and just go go forward.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me Travel the Labyrinth. You haven't defeated an enforcer. But you personally have spent time studying the Vassal. If you would like to mark Void, you can make this roll with +1. If you don't want to mark Void, make the roll with -1.
Alright,
and Dan, earlier you missed a roll. You get to mark, I believe, World when you miss a roll in the castle.
In the void.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and mark Void, and I guess roll with a +1. That's a
Go ahead.
2d6 +1, right?
Correct.
That's an 8.
Hey. Okay.
Good.
So, I'm going to pick 2 options from the list. And I'm also going to roll really quick to decide where you end up. Okay. So that is area 9. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So you make your way through some bent alleys and around the back of certain tents, and all of a sudden you find yourself not within the bounds of the circus proper. You are in the back rooms. They aren't rooms, of course. This is all the back sides of tents. You've dove through somebody's act, and you find yourself outside of the circus proper. There are still tents here, but they don't have any of the luster of the spaces within the circus proper. There are people stretching, getting ready for performances. You're not really paid attention to. And you start to notice a lot of kind of sticky notes, all written in the same handwriting. Reminders of different things. Yeah, what do you do?
If
Can we check
Scott's not gonna do
what's written
anything.
in the sticky notes?
Say again?
Can we check what's written on the sticky notes?
Yeah. So there are different sticky notes seem more or less real to you. Some of them are notes in this handwriting that are like, this performance was not up to par. Audience interest is flagging. Do a round of promotion and then circle back. This actor is no longer performing. Remove them from the show. There are others that say things like, don't forget to get milk for the Sibs. There's a couple of notes in other people's handwriting saying things like, we'll be home late again tonight. There's dinner in the freezer. There's $20 on the counter. Get yourself a pizza. We'll be home late tonight. We'll be home late tonight. We'll be home late tonight. There are, as you go through those reeler notes, you notice that you're stepping on shards of glass. Sushi, of course, you're a cat, so you're picking your way through this without any problems. Your feetsies are fine.
Are the shards stuck to the floor, or are they just lying around?
They're lying around, and as you look at them, you realize these are broken light bulbs. Hundreds of them. Broken light bulbs. All over the ground. There are, as you look at them, it seems like the filaments in these light bulbs would potentially create light. They aren't broken or anything. It's just the glass has been shattered, like they've been dropped or thrown away intentionally.
Light bulbs.
Light bulbs. As you go through these notes, you also come across a few that are covered in other things. Like you pull through a stack, and way down at the bottom, there are notes written in the original author's handwriting, the ringmaster's handwriting, that are like, remember to do this project. Go check in with the AV club. Spanish homework due Friday. They don't look like they've been looked at or crossed off of any kind of to-do list. What do you do?
Are these important?
Well,
I don't understand. I see someone likes milk. Blech.
I might need to explain it to you later. But I think we're learning a bit more about our ringmaster here. I guess even influencers have a lot to deal with.
There's a lot of this gonna be late. Seems like that repeated a lot. What's this stuff buried at the bottom? And I think Sushi's gonna like sort of like claw their way to like the bottom of the stack, and also just like maybe get a little bit distracted about halfway through and start playing with a light bulb.
Let's see. Spanish homework, AV club. Sheesh.
Oh, we were just in the AV club. The president said that Quentin wasn't coming by a lot.
Don't say. Jesus, Quentin, what are you doing?
So, as you kind of look through this, this space starts to remind you of things about yourself. So one of the options that I'm picking here is this place reveals something painful about you. Tell us what it is. Each of you, I would like to know what about this place is painful to you.
So I'm gonna say that. All right, I forget what I have and haven't established about my backstory, so oh well.
Treat it as if you have a really blank slate, and we can retcon as needed.
I'm gonna say that Scott sees all the sticky notes about we'll be home late tonight, home late tonight, home late tonight. And he feels a twinge of empathy because coming from a single parent home, he's also had to deal with his mother coming home late from work every night.
Yeah.
Trying to make ends meet.
And yeah, and it's that same feeling of like, yeah, I wish this wasn't what the both of us were experiencing. What about you, Sushi? What does it reveal about you? Maybe your connection or disconnection from the human experience that hurts.
I think for Sushi, like Sushi's biggest concerns for the longest while, like while they were still, I guess, just a regular cat, maybe it was just food, shelter, water, right? They never really cared about other things, right? Like pets were nice, but or things like having, conversation, right? And this sort of deferment of sort of like the problems, like I don't think Sushi really gets it, but like at the same time, at like the whole sort of like, okay, I have more things that I need to worry about, like the piling up of worries. I think Sushi's starting like that sort of uncomfortable feeling of hey, I didn't used to worry about these things, right? It was just sort of something that I did, and now I like this is something that I'm concerned about for my human, and like my human feels this maybe like this sort of like thought of like, hey, I do think there is something in the future that I have to worry about, right? Or things that I have to put off. Before Sushi would just be like, yeah, let's just do it. Well, don't worry about it, right? Just do.
Yeah. As the two of you kind of like come to those realizations about yourself, you turn back and you realize that you've waded through layers and layers of thoughts. And those broken bulbs that were so easy to walk through to get here, you turn back and it's a sea of glass, of things thrown away. There is no easy path forward, and you'll have to find some other way to get around that hazard.
I can try and use the birds to clear a path for us.
Okay. So it sounds like you want to throw your strength at the castle's obstacles.
Oh no.
Mm.
Alright.
Work out. I think you can always ride sushi.
Well, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna get us through the glass?
It's just glass, right?
Oh, wait. Yeah, and you're a cat. What exactly do you have to protect you from a sea of broken glass?
Look at my pads.
They look very soft and cuttable. Perhaps with something like broken glass.
It's like, well, I could. And you get to like see sushi like starting to like chase after their very fluffy tail end. Maybe sweep it away, and like it's just like going around in circles, and like the tail is like starting to like just like swish across the floor, like a broom.
Actually, I just had another idea. So what does the sea of glass look like? Is it just like a vast expanse, or is it like a towering mountain of glass?
I would say it's so you're kind of up against what I imagine is like a brick wall on your back, and it goes up 30-40 feet higher than you remember it being on your walk here. In front of you, the glass is not in like a big pile or like an even thing. It's like hillocks. Some spots have more of it than others.
All right.
There are tents and wires and telephone poles, all the things that you would expect to see in the kind of downtown areas of the city. But currently, the both of you are on the ground looking out at these mismatched piles of glass, trying to find a way forward.
I think I have an idea. Similar to what I did when I entered the castle. I'm going to try and use my birds to lift myself up to carry me over the glass.
Okay, that sounds like you're trying to perform a feat of athletics. Get yourself yeeted out of the way. Does that feel accurate?
I was going for more like a floating thing than a yeet. But
Okay, a float.
I mean, if you roll high enough, maybe.
Yeah.
If you roll poorly, it might be more of a yeet. I'm just saying.
Go ahead and flow like water. Roll plus
Flow like
wands.
water.
Yeah. And this will help you and Sushi get through here.
I think at that point Sushi's gonna like shrink tiny.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh no.
Take another point in world. Okay. I would like you. You get to the other side, is the good news. But the bad news is you misjudge how far your birds can carry you easily and safely. Sushi lands a little further forward than you, but you fall into part of the glass right at the edge. I would like you to... what is the name of this move? Push through the pain for me. You're gonna roll plus conditions marked. Rolling low is good, rolling high is bad.
Alright, well, unfortunately I don't have any conditions marked right. Push through the pain. Rip. So roll 2d6.
Fingers crossed you
How
don't
to
get
do that?
3 crits on this.
I,
Ouch.
Oh, a 7. No, 7's good. 7's good. You're going to huh?
Nothing. Don't worry.
Okay. You're going to the pain hits home, so you land in parts of the glass. You're going to mark a condition, but you're going to get fleeting advantage by acting on it.
Okay.
So let me know what condition you mark, and then we can hold on to that thought as we switch where we're pointing this camera.
I'll say that the failure of the birds was a very humbling experience. So I'll go with cowed.
Excellent. Okay.
To me, falling into a pit of glass.
You know, better cowed than cut to shit, right? All right. Let's turn our attention to Jovan and Jordan. Who is leading you deeper through the labyrinth?
I think we established that I'm following him while declaring I'm not following him.
Great, cool.
It'd be great
I picked
if
the
I
right
hadn't even
music.
noticed you yet.
No, I think I'm being loud about it and debating you. If you like, I think that's almost funnier. It'd be like, I'm not following you. I'm just going the same way. What do you want?
I'm trying to sneak around. We're trying to be subtle.
Okay, we'll do it quietly.
Okay. Fine. Let's go. All right, so I'm gonna click travel the labyrinth.
Yeah. So you haven't studied. No enforcers are down. But if you mark a point of void, then it goes from being a -3 to a -1.
Okay, I think I will mark a void.
I thought you might.
So I have a -1.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Oh, great. That's a 5 total.
I love that. You don't get your theme song anymore.
No.
Team song over.
Theme song
That
over.
thing you kept losing at Smash Bros. The soundtrack changes. They stop cheering your name.
Only the hit rollers get theme song.
No, we're gonna do something exciting here. So where y'all end up is a quiet, like alleyway, basically. It's a dark kind of hallway full of old-timey projectors. They are showing they're like reel-to-reel film projectors showing YouTube videos. And you very quickly realize that they are videos of Quentin, earlier videos. They are not as well produced, but some of them are like genuinely cute, funny, heartfelt, entertaining. There's like a couple of videos where Quentin is like asking his younger siblings questions, and they're like very small, so they're giving super stupid answers. But it's really cute because they're all very like comfortable and familiar with each other. It is a very different side of Quentin and his content than you're used to seeing. The other thing that you notice is that nobody is stopping to watch any of it. There are people coming through this hallway constantly. Nobody takes the time to look at these videos. Maybe somebody stops for a couple seconds, looks at it, keeps walking. It is sad because it's stuff that has a lot of heart. And that's when, as the two of you are kind of watching this, you hear a voice behind you. Yeah, it's not really the main event anymore. So, scoot on to something better, more interesting. I don't think you two are supposed to be here. And that is Quentin's voice.
Again, if you have something, but I always have some
No,
bullshit.
go first. Speak first. I don't think I say anything.
Yeah, Jordan was about to actually ask Joe, like, if this is how he always used to be, but hearing that voice, I think he kind of ignores the "you're not supposed to be here" part, and Jordan actually sits and like tries to appraise one of these videos, not from like a editor's standpoint, but just like what are the parts he enjoys, and he's actually gonna try and give a positive critique of one of them.
Oh.
Like try and actually genuinely be interested, and I think it's maybe one with like, if you allow me, like it's one with the siblings.
Yeah.
It's not asking questions. It's like really strongly a home video that just ended up on the internet. They're like playing with some, I don't know, like Lego Duplo type thing, and like he's making maybe sound effects for his younger siblings. And,
yeah. The younger kids wrote a script and they're filming it together.
And Jordan will just, yeah, I think that's actually very cute though. You know, you let them tell their own story that's obviously simple and kid stuff, but everyone who's had younger siblings or kids or been around kids finds that charming. I think that's really fun how you've captured it, or the artist has. Like that moment of play, joy.
Yeah. It's also something that clearly, like, he liked doing this for his siblings because he's gone and added a bunch of stuff in post. There's effects, like when the dragon breathes fire, there's like a fire effect. It doesn't look great, but it's cute. It's all done in service of making his younger siblings smile.
Like, yeah, when you do something for someone else, I think something comes through with that in the art. It looks very pure. I don't know.
It's quaint. It doesn't get anybody anywhere, though. Now, go on. I need your eyeballs elsewhere so that we can really get this show started.
I don't suppose that's an option you're giving us, huh?
I don't like to push my audience towards more interesting things, but I know you two. You both think that you're some kind of hot shit. That you understand something that other people don't about the world. Look, it's as simple as this. If I get your eyes where I want them, I get to make the decisions. I get to pick things for myself. So please, be anywhere but here.
I'm just gonna look at Jordan.
By the way, when you look at Quentin, he is wearing a long red silk jacket. It's double-breasted kind of red silk tuxedo coat with, gold what do you call those? Like little gold braids across it. Big shiny buttons. He's got that black silk top hat. He has a mustache that he absolutely cannot grow in real life. but it's like
Characters in high school, none of us can do that.
it's a good look.
Groucho Marx style.
No, more. You know how the strongman at the circus mustache usually looks when people
the
draw that?
giant handlebar.
Oh.
Not a handlebar, but like a plot.
The Armstrong.
The Armstrong,
Oh, no.
yes. Yes. No,
Mario
yeah.
esque.
Very much an Armstrong. It's a good look on him. Never could grow that mustache in real life, though.
Oh no, Joe, you were
Yeah, sorry.
looking at me about something I want
Well, we are in the host's place, so maybe we should listen? Do you feel like listening?
to. No, there's an honest answer here, and it's only almost entirely to bug Quentin on purpose. He'll stick the sword in the ground, and it shapes into like a chair shape. Obviously not wide enough, but still enough to like sit down, leg over one knee, and just be like, I don't know. I think I like his old stuff better.
Everyone's a critic. Look, I don't have time for the two of you. But I do have somebody who loves to get their hands dirty. And two gloved hands come up. He claps. The lights go down. Like the entire hallway is dark. They come back up. There is a facsimile of Quentin. Eyes are sunken in. Haggard. There is a chain wrapped around one arm, and often the far end of the room, you can see that it is attached to a desk with a computer on it. And you can tell by the way that he's looking at you that he is cutting you down to figure out how you tick. I guess it's playtime then.
I guess we're not leaving. And
The chain drags across the ground as this alter Quentin starts to drag that desk towards him and gets ready to strike.
Awesome. I'd like to go first, if that's okay this time.
Go on.
I feel like in a bit of a
Gordon's still sitting
subversion,
down.
I'm gonna start off with a pressure. As I pull out the flaming arc again, this time it's gonna wrap around and just become like a gauntlet, and I'm just gonna try and take the attention of this thing. I think we're throwing down, right? This thing's looking hostile.
Yeah, it does look. It is being very hostile towards you.
Awesome, great. I'd love to try and make it focus on me and maybe make an opening.
Okay, so it sounds like you are pressuring. Yeah, you're just going in for an attack. It is going to get an opening on you, but go ahead and roll plus swords and tell me what you get.
Swords are my specialty, but that is a 6. One
Go
off.
ahead and take a point of world as this is fun. I get to use my cool enemy moves.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Fun.
Hey, you had a fancy whip with you. You said.
My weapon, my arc of flame.
You go in with that whip, and the desk is dragged in front of this snakeskin jacketed Quentin, and you smash your hand into it with that whip, and your whip fizzles. You don't have access to it for the rest of the scene.
Oh, that's not good. I'm gonna start fumbling around my pockets to try and pull out more fire and realize I'm out. I don't know what else happens to me after that.
Yeah, the chain that Enforcer Quentin. Let's be real. The editor is what we'll call this.
Yeah, I was gonna make that joke on my turn.
The editor starts swinging the chain as if they're going to wrap you up in it. Let's flip over to Tate. What are you up to? What's Jordan doing?
What I want to do is a feat of incredible precision, but I feel like line it up might be appropriate. I am looking for the exact right point with this whipping chain where I can stick this sword between two of the links and stick it to the ground. That's also kind of defending my friend, I guess. I'm not sure exactly where to categorize this, but...
Yeah, this actually sounds like Stand With Me. You're reaching out to bolster an ally to save them from a particular ongoing danger.
Excellent. I'm very bad at cups, and I have disadvantage at this.
Hell yeah! Let's see it.
Also bad at cups.
I have a -1. Also had a miss.
Oh,
Awesome.
no.
Oh, this is great. Yes! I wanted somebody to get their asses kicked.
If
I'm
I
rooting
make
for you, I
think
promise.
that the sword goes through the chains but doesn't make it to the ground, and now is like entangled with them.
Yeah, that rules. You get pulled in and along. What ends up happening is that the chain drags you with it, and the editor switches targets, and you are now wrapped in the chains, more or less stuck there.
Excellent. Now, this may or not be something I'm allowed to do because it's not my turn, but if I can, like, try and get the sword untangled and sort of hold it out to Joe between the chains and give him my weapon. It is also whip-like, even with very different properties.
Yeah, I'll allow it. That sounds fun. What a good bro moment. Don't forget to mark world as you gain some experience. Learn from this moment. This does mean, however, that Joe, you still have an opening on you.
Great. This weapon is made available to me. I don't have an opening on... Yeah, I don't have an opening on them, though, which is unfortunate.
Dread, man.
I guess I can either line it up or put pressure. I'm better at putting pressure, but I already failed once.
That means you got the bad roll out of the way.
It's okay not to learn anything.
You know what? Sometimes you just gotta try again. I think with this strange... They may be similar in form, but they are kind of antithetical. This is a liquid.
Oh,
I'm
100%.
not... Yeah. Spear mode. Be a spear. I don't know how this works. Alright, I'm gonna try and hit it. And I'm gonna try and apply pressure again to
Go
try
ahead.
and get Jordan free.
Just swinging it like a regular sword. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Although his arms are down here, so it's just like a very small shrug. Come on.
Okay, a weak hit.
Okay. I am going to eat that opening on you and force you to push through the pain. But tell me what you do. Do you expose an opening on them? Do you pin them in place? Or do you give an ally a window to act freely?
If I give an ally a window to act freely, does that free Jordan?
Yes.
Alright, awesome. I think I somehow do manage to get the thing to become spear-like, and I'd like to just kick up a portion of the chain and just start wrapping the chain around in the... not sticking it through a link, but just like opening up the loop by pulling, essentially.
Okay, cool. Yeah, great. Jordan, the chain unravels off of you as the editor watches, narrow-eyed, moving to like peel part of that jacket off. Not like take the jacket off, peel a layer away.
Ooh.
What do you do?
And also, did you say I need to push through the pain, or
I think
Joe?
I do.
Yeah, no, Jovan needs to push through the pain.
So that's 2d6 plus my conditions.
Conditions marked. Yeah.
All right, that's 2d6, and then this will be. Hold on. 2d6, and I have one condition, so that is an 8, a weak hit.
Okay, so you're going to mark another condition and gain fleeting advantage acting on it. But otherwise, you're okay. What happens is the editor pulls off that piece of snakeskin, throws it at your feet, and it erupts into a writhing mass of snakes. And they come in and start biting at you.
Okay. I think...
I'm going to remind the two of you that you can use up an opening to escape, taking the party with you.
Mm-hmm.
For that reason, I think I'm going to take the cowed condition.
Okay.
Which gives me fleeting advantage on running away, I hope.
You have to use an opening to escape, but I would give you a fleeting advantage to look for an exit if you're cowed. So maybe I'll line it up.
Okay.
Yeah, although I was going to also try and make that work, but if you want to do your thing first.
No, I did my action. It's your turn now.
Yeah. Then I think the sword is all like inside this chain. I think it's just a quick like tap on Joe's hand to have him let go, and the sword flows forward through the chain back into my hands. As the goal is, I'm going to just like full on seem like I'm attacking him. Like the sword is flashing towards him, and I want to see how he defends himself.
Awesome. That sounds like
like-
coins to me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
line it up.
you're kind of feinting to see what he does, and that sounds like
there's
you're
just
trying
the
to
text on the
pick
right
apart.
and the left on his hand that has the chain, on his offhand, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. A weak hit.
Okay. So, on a 7 to 9, pick 2. The foe will send an attack your way. The opening lasts only a few moments, or you get disadvantage on strike.
For the sake of our safety, I'm gonna say it sends an attack my way, and the foe sees me, so that this opening is a little more than fleeting.
Great. I think we've already heard this song twice, even though it's a
Yeah.
banger.
It is a banger. It's very good.
Yeah.
And I think you see Jordan in like the most technically correct footwork and handwork that you've seen. It's very like traditional looking Olympic fencing for this moment, which is maybe why he gets hit by something. We'll see.
Yeah, he absolutely takes a big hit. So, interestingly, it's not the kind of attack that you thought. What the editor does is look you up and down, and tell me something as the character. What is a mistake that Jordan always replays in his head?
I can think of like a one that's like very relevant to this situation, or another one that's a lot more social.
Pick whichever one hurts more.
Yeah, I think it's often he will just completely forget extremely important things, like at any moment. That as soon as he remembers, it's like, oh, that's the most plainly obvious, and it creates a certain amount of paranoia in him of like, at any moment, I'm gonna remember something that everyone knows and everyone should know. And so it's that sort of recurring event. He doesn't have a specific one.
Take a condition, your choice, and what happens is the editor looks you up and down. Aren't you forgetting something? And implants that paranoia into you in this moment. However, there is now an opening, and somebody can use it to make tracks.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick overwhelmed. I feel like that's almost better than insecure for this. I don't think it actually makes him less confident. He's just like paranoid. Like that feels like that maps.
Yeah, love that. Cool. Okay. Is it time to flee?
I think so.
Cool. So how do you get the two of you out of there, Joe?
I'm just like trying to get the fire to come back, and I don't think it does. Shit, I gotta have... And I pull out the only other gear I have, a set of lockpicks. And I think I'm just gonna hopefully notice an exit that might be locked, but I've got lockpicks on me, and I'm just gonna jam and jimmy the lock as fast as possible.
Yeah, while all of the editor's attention is on our good friend Jordan, you find a spot in the wall. You shove a pick in, you wiggle it, turn things, and pop. The door opens, and you signal over to Jordan, and you two make your way through that exit. And we'll see where that leads you momentarily.
As they leave, the hook at the end of the sword just gets the edge of the door and slams it shut. See ya!
Yeah.
Huh. I knew watching 1,200 videos by that lockpicking attorney was a good idea.
Man, I gotta learn how to do that. You should teach me.
I'd be happy
He
to.
says, you knowing full well that he will not pursue that.
All right. I think the obvious person to take this back to is Neela. So you've had some time to talk to your friend. You realize that none of your pals are here. What do you do?
I kinda still want to try and find out more about this big top, because I get the feeling that what Alice is saying about the big top is wrong. It just doesn't feel right. It feels off. And then she'll get back to them. But if there is a way that through the back room she can get a peek at the big top and get a feel for what it actually is, she would love to do that.
Go ahead and roll me See Clear. When you try to read a dangerous situation, roll plus coins. This is you get to ask the GM questions type of move.
Ooh. Fingers crossed. No, it's a miss. 6.
Oh, the dice are not with us today.
I
believe she already did.
I did.
For the audience at home, Spree has asked if we have used the +2.
Oh,
Because
sorry.
no one can hear.
Yeah, the voice of God asked if we'd use a +2.
Okay.
And what was that move called, sorry?
That was called See Clear.
See Clear, okay. What happens if I miss?
Then I get to take reactions to you. I have, for anybody who's not played a PBTA game before, there's a list of suggested things that might happen when things go awry. Your enemies have a list of things that I've decided that they can do, so every time we were missing rolls in that last fight, I was picking the type of thing that would happen off of my enemy list. Here, I get to do something different. Okay. So you do learn something. As you look at the big top, you try to see what it is and why Quentin seems fixated on it.
Mm-hmm.
And for a moment, you kind of peel away the layers of obfuscation and the aura of this place to see it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is the part of the city where the wealthiest people live. It is the high rises. It is comfort and security. It is owning your own apartment and not having to answer to anybody. It is no more teachers. It is not talking to your parents. It is an easy way out to just make a clean break and keep doing whatever keeps the money flowing.
That makes sense.
That reminds you that back home, things aren't always like that. I would like you to mark your lack gauge.
Uh-oh. Do I just put a little X in it?
Just put a little X in it. We're not going to do a black mark.
Okay. That's scary. What? Oof. What does that mean? Is that just stuck there forever?
The way that you adjust gauges is by taking action in the city.
Okay. That's
Similarly to the it is possible to rest in this place, but your conditions need healing one way or the other. Similarly, in the city, your gauges represent how hard things are for you. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
That means it's going to be harder for you to procure funds, or to have a night out on the town, that sort of thing.
Just before we keep moving forward, does the mist mean that I need to take a dot in world or something like that?
It sure does.
Okay.
You failed on a castle move, so you take a point in world.
Okay. That's what I thought. Just wanted to double check before I did it. Okay. Well, kind of with that answer in tow, she realizes that she's been here for quite a long minute and she hasn't found anyone yet. So I think her gut instinct is to hustle back, double back, try to find her way back to anyone. She's calling up for Sushi along the way.
Okay. What I'm going to have you do is go ahead and pick evens or odds.
Evens.
Okay.
That's on.
If the roll is evens, I will let you pick which group you rejoin. If the roll is odds, I will put you in a spot and do it for you.
Love it.
It is odds. So
Shouldn't have made that joke. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm down.
I cursed it.
So, you make your way out and around this, back through the gallery area where you started, and you random more or less find your way to that alleyway where Scott and Sushi are waiting for you. However, all of you realize that there is something around the corner looming. You remember that watcher that only had one eye from the painting?
Mm-hmm.
There is something just around the corner, 3, 4, 5 stories tall, looming and watching the three of you.
I feel like Neela was about to call out and she sees that and she's like, And to like quietly try to approach the other two. Do you see that? She's like mouthing the words. She's not actually saying them out loud, but she's like, do you see that is what she's kind of mouthing.
I missed it. Which group did she run into? Oh, damn. All right.
Sushi and Scott.
Yeah.
He can't just grooms. Scott, what do we do?
I can give us cover.
Okay. Do you think it'll let us leave, or do we need to like fight it?
I don't know. I'm not versed in the ways of giant watcher eyeballs.
Okay.
It's not just an eyeball. It is like a story's tall shadowy figure. It looks like it has lots of hands. And some of those hands are holding like marionette puppet things, but you can't see what they're attached to.
Feels very Miyazaki of you.
Puppets, you say?
I do say.
It has been said.
I have mine. How far away are the hands holding the puppet or the marionette?
Around the corner, whatever they're attached to is basically underneath this thing, but you can't see its feet because some of those blank tents that I talked about earlier are in the way. So if you want to see what its deal is, you could walk towards it.
Is there an escape that gets us away from this creature without us having to approach it? Not really, hey?
One of its hands like unfurls and beckons.
I don't like that. If I have to, I'll glaive it, but I guess let's cooperate.
Don't know if we have much of a choice.
You absolutely have a choice out of character, but it does want you to come closer. You approach?
I think I'm gonna approach.
There might be some valuable information there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What does Sushi think about all this?
I mean, Sushi is like sort of like very tensed up and just about ready to like is very tempted by the strings because I don't think Sushi's really seen marionettes.
Oh.
So is very tempted by the strings, but is also very much in like, okay, so how fast can I grab these two and run away?
You're in like pre-pounce mode. You're like ready.
Or like either pounce on the strings or pounce on either the two of you to get you away. Nobody knows. Like it's like either or.
Yep.
Like you can see like like the little wiggle with the tail.
Yep.
Very much like crouched down ready.
Yeah. Okay, so you round your way around this tent. And that's too intense for what's happening right now.
Yeah. There's about to be a heist.
It's the same song. Come on.
What's Johnson?
And that's the one that was just playing. Goddamn. Okay. This one. Perfect. So, as you round the corner, you see that this is one of a dozen different creatures. All similar in shape, but not quite. They have the funky eyes, they have the funky hands. Some of them have tentacles, some of them have paws. Some of them have 1,000 eyes. Some of them just the one. And as you approach the feet beneath this thing, you notice that the marionette strings, somebody is attaching themselves to the bottom of that. Neela, this thing is only looking at you.
I don't like that.
It's like
It only has one eye. It has to pick which one.
it's like it doesn't even notice the other two. And you wonder, looking down at yourself, is that a little bit of makeup? from the dressing rooms. Maybe the dust from it.
The powder? Oh my god, is the powder on my outfit? Oh shit. There's definitely like one hand that has like slipped behind her to like grab the glaive that's attached to her back, and she's not doing anything, but she just got one hand on the glaive, and the other hand's just also innocently behind her back, like just standing there, doing nothing. I've got some powder from the dressing room on my outfit. It's kind of gotten its attention, but I don't think it's just you or Sushi.
You look like you could go places.
What, like the big top?
Oh, is that what you want? Yeah. Anywhere you'd like. I can arrange it.
I
This
mean,
doesn't seem
honestly, I'd like to leave.
Leave? You can leave anytime you like. The
Okay.
exit is back through the Hall of Mirrors.
Cool. Thanks.
But don't you want to see? And this eye leans down stories and stories and stories until it's in front of you. It is as wide as a train car.
God.
And no mouth visible, but it looks at you. Don't you want to see what you could become? And
Okay.
the eye, it's slitted like a cat's. It tilts as it asks the question.
Okay. I'm not gonna say no to a giant train car sized eye. Like,
No to.
Scott is getting a few. Sorry, what was that, Tate?
Scott is getting a what?
You think? Don't worry. We're just gonna go.
Scott is getting a few birds ready while this is going.
And Sushi's just
'Cause
kind of
he
like,
has another
so
idea.
do you want to wash?
Wash what?
Why don't
If it's tracking the powder or the makeup powder,
it's not looking at the makeup powder, but something about that makeup is making Neela seem more important than the two of you.
Scott is going to send one of his birds over to Neela to the spot on her outfit where she got the makeup on,
Okay.
and is going
Done.
to try and brush against it so that some of the makeup powder gets on.
Yeah, you do it.
And now he's gonna send them flying in some direction. Does the Watcher follow it or notice it at all?
No.
No.
Uh-oh.
It was worth a try.
Also, it's not a watcher. It is a patron.
Mmm.
What tier?
Ooh.
You, as you ask that question, I have an answer. You can see that as it shifts its numerous legs between its feet, pokey poles, you see gold, you see clothes, you see the keys to a Ferrari, you see all sorts of things that a patron could offer an up-and-coming artist. Well, if you want to find out what you could be, all I need is something in return.
Like what? I'm kind of nervous about making deals.
Oh, I just want the marigold.
What?
No, you the marigolds.
Oh, it's just one thing.
You can't have the
You
marigolds.
can give it up.
Those are mine. You can't have the marigolds.
That's what it takes to make the deal. Give me the marigold, and you can go wherever you'd like.
No, the entire brand is mandalas and marigolds. I can't just be mandalas and. No. Thank you.
It's such a bright light, that idea. Such a rich thought. It truly is unique to you. I could do all sorts of things with it. I could turn it into 100 ideas. They could sail you anywhere you would like to go. I could make you a billionaire. All you have to do is let me have it.
No, I can't give you the mandalas or the marigolds.
Then be gone.
Thank you. Jesus.
Will do.
Less
Uh,
please.
It moves, and it's not paying attention to the three of you. I'd like you all to dodge.
Ooh.
Oh. Also, hi, Total Party Chill. Thank you for the raid.
Thanks for coming in.
Welcome to our cursed circus. Things are not going well.
Very cursed.
Bourbon is our ringmaster for this evening.
Please. I am your game
Can I-
maestro.
You're the ring maestra. And game maestra.
Sorry, I was gonna ask. Can I try to stand with them and try to improve their roles, or is that like? So like
okay.
I'm thinking like Sushi's gonna like try and like grab the two of them and try to like sort of like interpose themselves in between or at least definitely between like Neela and whatever this giant patron thing.
Let's see what you and Neela get on those dodge rolls first, because in order to do that, you're going to have freedom of movement, unless you're willing to take a hit for somebody.
Fair enough.
Point blank.
Weak hit for me and Sushi.
Yeah.
Okay, a weak hit is a weak hit. Do you want to use that weak hit to help, to take the opportunity to help Scott?
You know what?
I actually, what I will say is, you can take the hit for Scott if you would like.
You know what?
but
Sure. Yeah. We're gonna do that.
Okay.
Like Sushi's huge.
I would like you to mark blood.
Oof.
There are a lot of injuries in this place that you can take without it affecting you. The crushing weight of this thing moving over you is not something that you can just walk off or think away. You shove Scott out of the way as you get rolled over by its many, many feet. And it hurts.
Yeah. I think I'm like probably what hurts the most is so Sushi's huge, right? But like have you ever seen like a cat gets like their tail broken?
Oh no.
Ow.
Oh,
It's like
Poor
roll like I
baby.
think
Yes.
yeah, like Sushi I think like dodges most of the way out, but like it just rolls right over the end of Sushi's tail.
Yeah.
mm.
Okay. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts real bad. And it continues to smart long after some of the other hits that you've taken in this place. Scott, still take that world for having missed that roll. You are probably pretty close to a rank up at this point, right?
One more.
One more. Hey, be the first one to get a new rank in world. Show it to all your friends. They'll be jealous.
Look how many times I fucked up. Aren't you jealous?
Hey.
New experience.
I love failure-based experience. It's great. So, yeah, you've shipped him out of the way. This thing, even as it hurts you and rolls past, it does not notice you are even there. You might as well not exist to it. It gives you less than no mind.
As a stage performer, Scott is somewhat slightly hurt by this.
I actually could be good at this.
Do you bring that bird back at any point?
Nah, I kind of just sent it off.
Okay,
I've got plenty more.
cool.
Would something happen if I did?
Well, you don't know now. You've made a choice.
If you would
I'm
like
not
to
gonna-
reverse that choice, you are more than welcome to.
All right, since it's not taking any notice of it anyway, Scott is just gonna have his bird flutter in like just like hovering around in front of the eye.
It again on your bird. That shimmery powder doesn't seem to mean anything to it. That said, that's on one of your constructs, your little birds.
Yeah.
So that's not really a person.
Mm.
What could a patron want with the object of a magic trick when the magician is so much more valuable? Did I say valuable? Probably should have said exploitable.
Ooh. Mila tries to like dust off the powder. Try like a highlight of powder, and it's like shimmering a little bit. And she's like, "Oh god, get off!"
We could have Sushi lick it for you.
No.
Sushi it shoots like a look over at Scott and is like, I would, except and like so you see like Sushi very busy like trying to like gently lick at their tail instead.
Oh, poor Sushi. We'll get that fixed up. Don't you worry.
So what do y'all do?
GTFO?
Yeah, you're
We gotta
rolling.
find the other two.
Others.
Yeah. Okay. I would like somebody to make us a travel the labyrinth roll. And this will get you to the same spot at a critical moment.
Hmm.
I think
I mean, I'll roll it, but if you want.
really quickly.
Not you two. One of the three of them.
I guess Sushi could.
I mean, you've spent time studying the vassal, so you'd be able to do better than me.
Oh, should I
You'd have to mark another
gotten
point of
plus one
void,
on that?
wouldn't you?
Unless you have a, you could roll with a -1. You'd be fine.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely also studied the vassal though.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
you
I feel
totally
like we
did.
all kind of have at this point.
That's fine.
Have any of us defeated an enforcer?
No. Your buddies
Nope.
just got their shit rocked by
Thanks,
the enforcer.
those.
So, well, I know Sushi's probably gonna try and lead you guys around if that's okay, but I don't know about the other two.
We'll see if you can pick up their trail. Go ahead and roll me. Travel the labyrinth. Or traverse the labyrinth? Whatever it's called.
Gonna mark void.
Okay. So that is going to be a +1 instead of a -1.
That's a 7.
That's a 7. That is a hit. Okay.
But hasn't Sushi also spent time studying the vassal?
Yeah, that's why it's a +1.
That's why it's a
instead of
+1.
Oh, okay, and you did not mark void.
I did
Did mark
void.
void.
So wouldn't it be a +2?
+2 -1.
It's a +2 and a -1.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
so the tiers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's
yep.
it's one of 4 options, right? It's either -3, -1, +1, or +3. It's
Got
I love this mechanic. It's so good.
That's smart. Got it. Okay.
Okay, so that's a little too cheery for what's going on with the other two. Sorry, gang.
Run for your life.
Yeah. So the two of you are in a small room. Something is bashing at the door. You think you know who that is. But as you look around, you realize that this place that you're in, there might be something of value here. This is some kind of hold on, let me make sure I've got the right spot in mind. Yeah. This is some kind of office. There's sticky notes stuck all over different things. Almost an exact copy of the desk that the editor is dragging around is here as well. There are answering machines all over the place, and tapes for those answering machines scattered about.
Tapes? What is he in the 80s? What's going on?
He's not
No,
in the
I'm
80s,
saying that
but
in
like,
character. I think he's tapes.
old answering
Jordan,
machines.
child, is gonna say that thing.
Yeah, you can throw a lot.
We know what tapes are.
Haven't you seen the room?
There is somebody in here taking sticky notes off of things and throwing them out the window. And every time they do, you hear something outside break.
I have an idea, not for this.
Glass. I got beef
How
with them.
far down is that window from how far down is the floor from the window? I want to look at it real quick.
Yeah. You dash your way over to the window, and it's a fairly long way down. What you do see is you see out the window there is a dark room with thousands of light bulbs all turning on and off. There are hundreds, thousands of them. Some of them are very dim to you, others are very, very bright to you. And the two of you, if you look together, wouldn't be able to agree on which ones are bright and which ones are dim. But this person keeps pulling sticky notes off of things, throwing them out the window, and these bulbs get cut and smash onto the ground. It is 40 or 50 feet of a drop down onto the surface, the floor below the cobblestones, and somebody's sweeping the glass away. The pounding on the door is still
by this thing, right?
Just trying to knock the door down.
I need a weapon if we're getting another fight.
No. I think I have a plan.
Okay.
Roll with this. And to the guy at the desk with the sticky notes, I'm gonna try and not be right next to him, but sort of move with him as he's going back and forth, and be like, "Hey, buddy, you look like you're working yourself pretty hard." And I'll start taking my jacket off, like it's a real jacket, and I'm gonna try and as if comforting him as he's working, put the jacket around his shoulders. Put the jacket on and be like, "Hey, man, you seem like you're working really hard."
Oh, I know what
Kinda
this is.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm trying to put my jacket on him to use some equipment, but I'm trying to do it in "Hey, bud, I think you deserve this.
Oh,
man,
man.
you've been working really hard."
the boss here. He's always got us working so hard. He says, take the sticky notes, get rid of them. And you look at it, and it's notes. Some of them are like heartfelt notes from his parents. Never been read. Like, clearly the envelope is right there. Some of them are like pictures that his siblings drew him. There are those tapes mixed in among. I'm just trying to get the office clean, and he's never done, and there's always more work. It's an endless cycle. I feel like I'm on a treadmill in here, I tell ya.
No, that sounds rough, but you know what? He's recognized your hard work, and this is a gift to you from him, putting the jacket on this guy.
Wowza!
Fancy,
You really
it'll
mean
help
it?
you-
You mean it? This is from the boss?
Yes, absolutely. To Joe, be like, look for maybe something valuable. Maybe we can get something out of this, but mostly just don't disturb it. Yeah, this is definitely for you. It's real cool. Look, see, it's all metallic and shiny and fancy and such.
Gee, this is really the best. Look, there's some things that I've been trying to get rid of, but I can't bring myself to get rid of them. Maybe this would go a little faster, but like, you could help me out here, right? I mean, a gift in exchange for a gift. These things are really precious to the big guy, but I don't think he wants to look at them if he doesn't have to.
Yeah. We actually need to specifically leave out the window for reasons I will not explain. But if we can like get a case of the valuable stuff, we can gently bring it down and save it someplace in case he wants to look at it again.
Oh, that's great. You just take it to his secret place.
Yeah. I'm new though, so like if you know where that is, just
No,
like some general directions,
no,
I
I've got no idea. But here,
Here's
and
the thing,
what
don't worry
gets
about it.
pressed into your hands is
Yeah.
an answering machine and 2 tapes.
Yeah.
I can tell you how to use those, Jordan. Don't worry.
Fucking, I know what they are. Anyways, he just loving what you're doing, and like the doors get banging harder and harder. It's like, we'll see you later, right? And
I got an idea for transport.
oh, I was just gonna hang out the window on the hook cord for a bit and.
Oh well, it does
Right.
definitely involve that. I'd love to use my Arcana the Magician's Castle move, if possible.
Okay.
When you improvise a ritual to protect from danger, grant a temporary ability, or make a potent weapon, I'm hoping grant a temporary ability, roll coins. Can I try this?
Oh, yeah. What are you trying to make? Tell me what you're trying to make, and that'll helps inform me of what the consequences are if you,
I'm
goof
assuming
it.
we're up high because we are throwing things out of a window. And you know what would be
50, 60
great
feet,
right
what they
now?
said?
Yeah, you know what would be great right now is some sort of way to grapple or even potentially fly or glide or something like that.
Okay, go ahead and roll that, what was it, coins?
Yeah, I'm hoping this works.
100%. You should not warn Jordan beforehand. This is just a good.
Strong hit.
All right, baby, what do you want to be
Hey,
able to do? Are you flying?
Okay, I think this is what happens. I think Jordan's about to, like, try and rappel out the window, and I just tackle you out, and as I do,
Yeah, I gotta fly. Ah!
Phoenix wings erupt from my shoulder blades, and I'm just burning through the sky, if that's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
please.
See ya.
The
That's
jacket!
You're welcome. It's like, I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't either! Let's go!
Not comforting.
Okay, as that happens, you all glide down. All of these bulbs are turning on and off above you, and behind you, you hear the door get broken off its hinges. And you realize that the jig there is up. Except, Tate, take me up there and tell me what does the editor see when it enters that room?
So, I think subtly, also when the jacket was put on, Jordan's Quicksilver mask also like melded into it. The moment the door bursts open, the jacket like melds around this guy, and then the mask goes over his face, and so he looks extremely like Jordan just changed his pants and his haircut somehow very quickly, and the jacket also like is trying to hide the motions of the person in it almost actively to just look a little more aggressive, like the sleeves make it look like his arms are going up or like hiding his hand. Yeah, he's kind of getting ragdolled around a bit if he's not strong enough. And no matter what he says, visually there's a mouth that's just like angry face going like looks like it's shouting a little bit as I am expending my gear fancy jacket to make a minion look like me.
Excellent. The two of you land, scoot outside where you bump into the rest of the crew. Behind you, in
Land
the
safe.
room full of light bulbs, you see the little man fly out the window. And behind you, the wall of the building explodes out. Dozens of light bulbs are burst. You have an opportunity now to either commit to this fight, in which case I think that'll be the last thing we do tonight, or you can scuttle on out of here and hope that you can either reach safety or somewhere outside of the castle, so that you can find out what's on those tapes. If
Not
you
making a
fight,
decision for the group. Oh, sorry.
if you fight, there is a risk of those tapes getting destroyed.
Ooh,
Especially
that's-
because Jordan doesn't have a place to put him. He's like just sort of tucked him into his high-waisted pants because his jacket has the pocket. Yet, not making it exactly, and not making a choice for the group. I think that the two of them land, and Jordan goes, "Oh, hey guys," and then that explosion is like, "We definitely were winning the fight we just had with him for sure, but like, he's very, very strong." I don't want that.
Normally, I would
actually
agree.
influence, but just
Nah, he kicked our ass. Maybe we should get out of here, but
come on, man. Take the credit.
I think if that's gonna happen, I think Sushi's gonna like reach into like their shadow and pull
Doesn't
out
your
like
rate
what
this
looks like a void of like just nothing, and it's like you don't know where it came from. It's like does Sushi have pockets or something? But Sushi definitely does not have pockets. Sushi's a cat, and it's just this huge portal just sort of like expands open. They're like, all right, we're out of here then.
You do you like toss it on the ground or something?
I think you just said like there's like a whole brick wall, right?
Yeah.
I think Sushi's gonna like just toss it on the brick wall, and like this sort of like portal hole just opens up in the brick wall.
Yeah. And the hole is open. You all scuttle through it, and a paw reaches out
Cool, Looney Tunes.
and pulls the hole into itself, and it's gone.
watch my
cool.
new wings. Watch out! Ah!
You are outside of space and time. You are in the place outside of the world that is safest and most familiar to you. You are in the station. The green and purple sky outside sliding by as you hear voices over the radio. You have come to a safe place. I'm going to give you all two options. You can go into the radio booth, or you can go into the interview room. If you choose to go into the interview room, you can buy supplies. You can trade for supplies and weapons from Void. If you go into the booth, world will offer you healing and succor.
I would like the healing. Can we go into separate ones?
No, everybody's got to go into one or the
Okay.
other.
mean,
This is me saying there is only one person operating the radio station today, and I'm letting y'all choose who it is.
I'm thinking healing.
I mean, I vote for healing.
I'm fine with
personally.
healing.
I'm fine with the healing.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think okay.
Excellent, because I have 3 conditions.
Oh.
I got 2.
Cool.
I have one.
I got a lot of shit going on.
All right.
I didn't even
So,
take any city stats like some of you guys do.
Either here, each of you can either heal one condition or use your playbook's shelter move.
Ooh.
Yeah,
My
I'll let
shelter
you
move
chew on
is-
that for a minute.
Hold on.
Go check your shelter moves while I set the stage for this. The live on air signal that is normally above the booth goes out. And you hear a kind of contented sigh from the other side of the door. Are you those kids? Come on in. It sounds like you got here in a hurry.
That's one way of putting it.
Nah, we're perfectly casual. There's nothing going wrong at all. Everything's under control.
The door kind of creaks open, and you can make your way into the studio at your leisure. When you do, the woman on the other side of the door is fairly tall. She has pale skin, gardener's hands, thick, curly locks of brown hair, a pair of glasses done up in the motif of a mix of sort of butterfly wings, but also somehow, creeping vines and plants are resting on her nose. She looks like the warmth of the earth reaching out to take care of you. She makes you feel at ease and reminds you how much you matter. How much you, the group, and we, the collective, matter. This is World.
Ah, shit. I was gonna be like, she feels like a gardener and a provider. Heck, it's World. That's even better.
Well, if it isn't my little sprouting rebels. Out of curiosity, have folks decided whether they want to heal conditions or if they want to use their shelter moves?
Can I just confirm where the shelter move lives on the playbook? Is that the one below the blue box that says swords and cups?
I need to look, because I don't know
on
these
mine?
On our roll
character
20
sheets.
sheet, mine's
Plus,
under
it
my
says
weapon.
It
Yeah.
should be
Okay.
under your weapon, the roll 20.
Okay, found it.
This is a great time to shout out the wonderful player and excellent web designer, Michelle, for setting us up with really, really solid Roll20 sheets. Game would be very hard to play without these wonderful sheets. Thank you to Michelle, and thank you to all the folks who we stole from, who worked on the Avatar: The Last Airbender sheets for Roll20. It was really, really helpful to have all that work done ahead of time, and we obviously are making very extensive use of it. So thanks again to the wonderful RPG scene for sharing all of that tech for free.
So question, what
I have a
happens?
question about mine.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
sorry. My question is, what happens if we intensify our crew covenant? What benefit would that give us versus like clearing conditions?
There are times when you can reduce your crew covenant um, to do fancy stuff, and I cannot remember what that is off the top of my head. But I think it has to do with using crew moves.
Okay.
It has to do with using moves from your castle moves, I believe.
Okay, got it. Well, that my shelter move basically intensifies our crew covenant, which doesn't feel as helpful right now. So
Necessary right now.
yeah, so if it's between that and clearing a condition, I would like to clear a condition.
Go ahead and clear a condition then. And
I have a question that might
yeah.
affect that. My shelter move lets people who join me in relaxing erase a condition, but gain fleeting disadvantage. If I use that and someone joins me, can they still decide to heal a condition on top of that? Like, I'll only get the one, but is that going to use up their choice?
Yes, I think that would be a yes.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll just normally heal. I'll wait for a time when we don't get healing in a location and then use that. I mean, everyone has a choice to heal or not anyways, so it seems not useful.
A couple of you do have 2 or 3 different conditions, so keep that in mind.
That's what I mean. If I do this, I'm only going to get one, but can other people join me and then still also heal an additional condition?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, then I'm going to use this and offer if anyone wants to heal too, they can join me and do that.
I'll take fleeting disadvantage, sure.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a longer term note about that for yourselves. Anybody who does, maybe we should put that in the Roll20 chat so that we remember, because I think we're going to be rejoining at the castle next time. Still.
And Tate, did you say this applies to everyone
anybody who spends time relaxing?
Okay.
So yeah, it says you kick back and relax. Say how, and anyone who joins you erases a condition but gains fleeting disadvantage. I think that Jordan sort of plops himself up against like a wall. Unless there's chairs here, he might just do in a chair, but up against a wall, and he's he's put his blade into like this T shape, and he's just like gently nudging it to keep it balanced, and it'll like lean too forward towards someone else, and you can kind of bounce it back. And it just becomes this like really casual, just like tapping a balloon up and down, but it's this balanced like metal shape.
Nice.
And just chilling.
Is everybody else choosing to heal an additional condition, or is anybody else choosing to do their shelter moves?
Sushi will be using their shelter move.
Okay, what does Sushi's shelter move do? Oh, and Milan, what were you gonna say?
I'm just healing 2 conditions, one from myself and one from Jordan.
Great.
Sushi shelter move. Sushi can tap into the thoughts of a nearby enforcer. The architect will describe what they can see and hear, and Sushi can ask a question about what they're thinking and feeling.
Yeah, so the enforcer is in that room with all of the light bulbs that are hanging from an infinite high up black ceiling. It's dark in that room. The enforcer is staring at the wall that you just fled through, frustrated, but then looks up at the light bulbs and feels drawn to them. What is your question?
What do they think about the light bulbs that have been thrown away? Like the enforcer.
Yeah. It hurts to throw away an idea that you love, but sometimes you have to give up your best ideas to get ahead.
kill your darlings is good advice. I don't know.
I think this goes a little beyond that. If we want to talk about like what, yeah, no, actually, I'll leave that there for now. If you,
I'd love to have a conversation about this, but I was gonna wait for everyone to do their moves.
yeah, are there any other moves? I think the question then falls to Dan is the only person who hasn't responded one way or the other.
So my shelter move involves traveling the labyrinth, and we don't seem to be doing that anymore today. So I think I'll stick with just clearing the condition.
Okay. It would apply the next time you choose to travel the labyrinth. Because unless you all tell me at the beginning of next session, we're done in the castle, then I will assume that you're going back into it.
Oh, okay.
Is that the best way to continue to solve this story?
Well,
Unlikely.
so
Unless there's only one enforcer.
I will give you up front. This is a small fry of a vassal. The bigger a vassal is, the more enforcers they have. This vassal is relatively weak compared to other vassals and only has one enforcer.
Okay.
So to answer your question, Leona, if you can defeat the vassal, that's another die when you go to activate Emperor's New Clothes, which is the move for the audience. There's a move called Emperor's New Clothes that lets the party make their attack on the vassal. The more things they have done from a certain checklist, the more dice they get, and they take the 2 highest dice from as many as they end up rolling. Here's the thing. If you want to have a lot of dice for Emperor's New Clothes, and it's good to have a lot of dice because it puts you in a position of power when you start, you will want to go back to the city and do a little bit more work. But you're also probably going to want to heal some conditions and deal with crises and deal with your gauges. So both of those things are going to be like valuable to you. But if you go back into the labyrinth next time and you beat up this enforcer, that's another die that you can use on Emperor's New Clothes in a future delve.
Yeah, we can beat this guy and then leave and get ready and do more.
Yeah, that's always an option.
Okay. I see.
It's up to you, Dan, honestly. It's your move.
Yeah. And you took a couple of conditions this time, so maybe it's just worth it to you to heal several conditions. I think that's a super appropriate choice.
So I only have the one condition, but if I fail the roll for the shelter move, then I get another condition.
Oofta.
So I have the so I have the opportunity to potentially make things worse.
Okay. You can also just sit if you don't want to take any of those moves.
Also, just feel free to just clear that condition. It's all good.
All right, I'll clear the condition.
Okay.
Hey, look, I still got three conditions for a move. Missing out on a fourth one isn't a problem. I think that move was worth it.
Okay. So here's you're in this space, and as you're kind of tending to your wounds, World is walking around and has goes to one of the offices, kind of through a door, comes back and brings like snacks and like drinks from a fridge, and kind of hands them out to anybody who is healing conditions, taking a moment to relax, and talking you through what you saw in the castle. What do y'all talk about given what you've seen? What do you share with each other? Play that scene out for me.
Jordan, ever the talkative one, can start unless someone wants to.
Go for it.
I'm imagining a soda can with a straw as one of the drinks, and he has propped that on top of his little T-shaped thing and is trying to balance it just with his lips for a second as he's sipping. And he stops and goes, "So, I think Quentin here has some like real hang-ups about when he made stuff that he really loved. Nobody watched it. And then as soon as he'd made stuff where he's like mean to people is when he got actually popular online."
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got from, like, we saw a bunch of his old content in like a dusty hallway. And I thought it was actually better, cute. It was nice, wholesome. It stood out, but then I told him I liked his old stuff, and angry editor guy attacked me, or us.
When I got split up with the person that I was throwing the ball at,
Clown friend, yes.
yeah, I named her Alice. I don't know if that's her real name, but I named her Alice.
I would have named her Dodgeball.
Oh no, that's too on the nose for me. You see, like Neela kind of like wither at the idea of that. But Alice,
know what else we want.
Alice was telling me that like people want to go to the big top because like that's a shot at something bigger. And then I realized that the big top is kind of like the monster that we saw, and she gestures to Scott and to Sushi. It's rich people, it's fame, it's money, it's
Rich people.
just kind of like, you know. But like Alice, for example, was trying to do the dodgeball act to get there. That's kind of shitty. Like, that sucks. Because Alice could be really cool. Like, Alice could get there of her own merit for anything. Like, why should it be just that moment? And besides,
World turns to you in that moment of you saying, like, Alice could get there on their own. Alice, the person, certainly could. Quentin is seeing people as stepping stones.
nah, I see.
None of the people that you met in the gallery are ever going to see fame, not on their own terms at least. Quentin believes that if he becomes famous enough, he'll be able to make decisions for himself. And he won't be weighed down by, well, the things that trouble him.
You mean those light bulbs that he seems to think hurt a lot to give up?
I'm thinking it's more like the sticky notes we found. Get?
Oh, I'm
Actually,
that big scary iron smelling chain person took a short look inside their head.
oh, can you do that to anyone? What am I thinking?
Like Sushi just looks at you, goes back to grooming themselves.
But yeah, the sticky notes are the light bulbs, actually. Like, we saw a guy throwing them out a window. I think it's more of a metaphor for, I don't know, sentimentality, maybe?
Ideas.
Ideas about needing to do his homework?
Thoughts.
CBAV club?
His thoughts, maybe. Things that he thinks about.
Did any of you take a look at the light bulbs?
The filaments were still intact. It's just
I
the glass
mean-
that was broken.
One of the intact light
Right,
bulbs, I
but
mean.
didn't want to look at them.
No, I think Sushi just played with the broken ones.
I think maybe a quick glance just when it was looking out the window, but was more concerned with getting out of that room.
Okay.
It's like if Sushi saw the light bulbs, it would have been through the Enforcer's eyes, so...
I did not interact with the light bulbs.
Yeah, I don't think anybody took the time to interact with the light bulbs. You should consider doing that in a future session.
We will get to the bottom of what the light bulbs mean. Oh, and by the way, pulls tapes out of pants.
Gross.
These were valuable, I think.
You see, like, Sushi very, like trying to resist, like, trying not to, like, play with the tapes like they're yarn.
Rolls the
Please
extra bit up.
don't.
Miss World? What's your name?
Yes.
You got a tape player?
This is a radio station, honey.
Ah, yes.
And there is a
Grandpa.
boom box. Don't be snarky. Cars still have radios. I have it on good authority.
This is fair.
Hey, I still listen to the radio.
And when she says good authority, she tilts her head towards Sushi.
Sushi is correct in this case.
Mhm.
Well, anything else before we listen to the tapes? No?
There's two tapes. One of them looks like it hasn't been listened to, and one of them looks like it's been listened to a lot. Which one do you listen to first?
Definitely the more used one, right?
To be honest, there is no way Jordan actually paid attention to that. He just grabbed one. But
Somebody pick for Jordan.
yes, he
the
literally
one
is
that
just about to go.
hasn't-
Here we go. Not listened to? Yeah, right.
Okay, the one that so there's a little bit of static as the sound of the tape player sort of spins up. And I'm not going to recreate this because I would find it distressing. But what you hear through the tape player is a series of arguments. Things that were said. You're never getting your homework done. You need to succeed in school so that you can take care of your siblings and help with the family. We don't have a lot of money. You need to succeed in school. Another bit of static, and then a different argument. You can't keep fooling around online. There are dangerous people out there. What happens if something that you do gets you arrested? Tape plays a little bit further. This time it's the teacher's voice, one that you recognize. I just can't believe that you're not applying yourself here. You're a smart kid. You need to stop goofing off in class and actually study. I know that you can pass these tests if you give it a try. Another teacher plays moments later. You are worth nothing here. I'm going to see you expelled for putting that video online. The tape plays a little bit further. There's a discussion with the principal. There's a discussion with the teacher. There's a discussion with the parents. There's a parent-teacher conference. All of it is weighing down negatively. It is the things that Quentin doesn't think are fair, the restraints that are put on him. He just wants to make videos. He just wants to make movies. And every single time he tries to raise his voice in these tapes to defend himself, to defend what he wants to do, it's somebody else telling him it's a waste of time, that it's never going to amount to anything. Who hits stop on the tape?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Jordan's too busy flinching every time it talks about you can do better. Like, he actively uncomfortable with that. Just like, ugh. Didn't think I'd have sympathy for the guy.
And why not? We weren't here to just tear him down, weren't we? We're just trying to make him stop.
I don't know, it's unsettling that he's got the same problems that, like, I do. I don't like to think that I'd end up where he is.
It's close to home for sure. But none of this excuses what he's doing.
World nods. If you use people like stepping stones, nothing really excuses what you're doing. But it's easy to feel trapped, and it's good that you feel sympathetic towards him. What about the other tape?
Let's other tape in.
And this time, you hear a few different voices, but it starts with the voices of his younger siblings. I loved it! The fire, when the dragon was breathing fire, it was so cool! And I liked the part where the doll jumped over the cliff. Ah! You made them so happy. Thank you for spending the afternoon watching them and for being a good big brother. This meant a lot to them. Yeah. And you really know your way around that editing program. I'm impressed. And that's the end of the tape. Maybe a dozen compliments. It's a short tape. It's rigged to replay those same compliments back about the things that he did when he still felt connected to the art that he was making.
What if we just convince him to stop using other people? I mean, he's clearly very talented.
How do we know he's not too far gone already?
I mean, if he was too
I don't think we can. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say if he was too far gone, then I don't know, would we even see any of this stuff in the castle? I don't think we'd be able to, like, tackle any of it if he's too far gone, you know?
But you heard
Heck, we
the
might as
tape.
well.
You saw the big eyeball, man. Like, if I had to guess, at this point, he's doing this because it's his way out. And hell, for all I know, maybe he's convinced himself he's doing this for his siblings. And he's going to bring them with him when he gets to the big top. Maybe he thinks that what he's doing is the right thing. And pretending not to see all the fucking damage it does.
I think he's left his siblings behind in his head. They're the things he doesn't want to do. doesn't want to take care of him, doesn't want to be around him.
But
I think that is how we get to him. Is remind him about it. Remind him about what it was like to make someone happy.
clearly he loves them. He made something for them. Maybe he's
It's something no one watches. Something that he didn't even want us to look at.
because he thinks it's not good content. He's, like I said, he's good at what he does, and I think maybe he does care about his siblings. He's just forgotten. It's easy to resent siblings, I think. Like that dependency, like it can feel like a lot. It can feel like you're never gonna be able to get rid of that weight and that burden. But maybe just need
Don't
to.
tell me.
I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but that's just a guess. What do you think, Sushi?
I agree. Yeah, you had what? 4 siblings? 8 siblings?
Sushi probably had more than 4 siblings. Sushi's not sure. Like if Sushi thinks like way
It's a
far
bit more
back,
than
like it's variable. They probably had at least a litter of siblings. Maybe.
Mm.
It's
I was blind at the time.
Yeah.
maybe. We're not sure. But yeah, Sushi's just like, what? No, what is too far for you humans, anyways? When they take away your shelter, take away your food.
That is an extremely interesting question. I have no idea.
Maybe it's
Why is
one
it-
that you all should think on.
Hmm.
And I think that is a good place to end it for tonight. As the pink and purple and green sky travels overhead, and we pan up the tower towards the top of the radio tower. Its red lights blinking. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This has been another episode of The World Within You. I have so many thanks for my wonderful, glorious cast. You, the wonderful audience, you're so great. I appreciate everybody who came out tonight and watched, and I appreciate all of you checking out those VODs later on. The channel, Neon Lights Roleplay, we all really appreciate you. I think we should take it out in the reverse order that we took it in. So let's start with Leona. Tell them who you are, who you played, and what cool stuff we can find you doing all around this worldwide web.
Hi, I'm Leona. Today I was playing Mila, our provider of the group. You can find me on Twitter at the Leona Maple. That is the best place to find me. Follow me and keep up with what on earth it is that I am doing. Such as being on the stream right here, doing cool things over with Apocalyptic Unlimited, and lucky little me returning once again soon over at Questline D&D. So those are some places that you can find me. And that's me.
All right, let's take it down to Michelle.
Hey, it's me, Michelle. Don't find me on the internet because I don't exist on the internet.
Cats don't have
I'm sorry, I'm really groomed to this music. It's so good. I played Sushi, our cat, today, and if you want to find me playing playing in other games, you can see me on Wednesday for Stardust Ghost, which. Okay, that was a day of revelations, like chef's kiss, really good. You
It's
gotta
gonna be
there.
dramatic.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
Good.
Yeah, there's so much drama. Also, it is very straight. We're very straight. We're
Straightest show on the channel.
Oh, straight.
yeah. But other than that, you can find me here next Thursday, hopefully GMing A Blade's Will, the Alliance of Heaven, and player applications are still out for that. So if you are available for that day, please sign up in the Players Den, because that is how I get most of my players. So
There's an easy peasy sign up sheet.
That's it for me.
Yeah. Milan, it's your turn.
Hey, it's me, Milan, but I'm better known on the internet as Mallard Man, which is where you can find me over on Twitch and Twitter. Only on Twitter, you gotta add a little underscore at the end to get someone else that has my name first. Other than that, I'm not in currently any other projects. However, tune in very soon on my Twitter where I will announce my next one, which I believe the next thing I'm gonna be in is a continuing Star Trek Adventures game that should be streamed on Saturdays or Fridays. One of the two. We'll figure it out at some point. That's all I got for today.
All right, sliding over to Dan.
Oh, hey, that's me. Hi, I'm Dan. I played Scott, the Watcher. If you want to see more of me for some, I'm in our upcoming Wrath and Glory campaign by Shadow Peace. It's going to be on the 19th. We're going to get it this time. Definitely, totally going to start it for real this time on the 19th.
Y'all got this.
And yeah, you can find me on Twitter because that hasn't exploded yet. At Land the Dan. One word, 9 letters. I'll probably be crying about the death of the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS eShops.
Fair.
Oh, we're all in mourning. Finally,
Yes.
Tate.
Hello, Internet. My name is Tate Washburn. You can find me at Tate the Terrific on Twitter. I do have an itch with exactly one game under the same title. And honestly, you could follow me on either place, but what you should really do is follow this channel's Twitter, Neon Lights Are Play, where we announce a bunch of cool stuff, and at least one of the people on here runs it better than I could. This is fair. And yeah, what you should really do also is follow the Discord for this channel. We do a bunch of cool memes and stuff. We have various events and chats, and I know there's something else I'm supposed to be remembering saying right now. But anyways, and I've had a wonderful time playing Jordan today, because that was a great game.
And I guess that brings it back to me. Hello, everybody. I am your game maestra. My name is Legendary Vermin. You can find me as Legendary Vermin on all the places on the internet that matter, which is, of course, Itch, Twitch, the recesses of Tumblr, sometimes on YouTube, where you can find all of my actual play videos that have shown up, and increasingly distressingly, and probably less often than is justifiable, Twitter, where I retweet when we go live on this platform. So, like Ted said, probably the best place to visit me, see what I'm doing, is to come join the channel. Come join the Discord. Come get your fingers messy with the finger paint of joy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I describe that channel for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yes. That is Neon Lights Roleplay. You can find me doing all sorts of stuff on this channel. I am, of course, the GM here, but I will also be back this Thursday for the next episode of It's Got a Name. It's a horror game.
Last transmission.
Thank you. Last transmission.
Board members to the rescue.
Hey. Absolutely could have opened up my calendar. I had so much time. I didn't do it. Later on, you'll find me.
Scrolled a bit up in the Discord.
100 Gex just released a song called "The Dumbest Girl Alive," and I identify with it deeply.
Oh, wait, no, scroll down. It's below this channel.
It's right below this one.
Of course, one of the other shows that I made. is With the Will, which is our Animon story game. And finally, you can always catch me as the one, the only Symbiosis ads on Frozen Rain, our Lancer game. Crusted in ice, and yes, about robots, but also extremely transhuman. Please come check out other shows on this channel. There's so much good stuff. There's Oathsworn. We got Gelgalim. We got a bunch of new shows that I've just learned about, and all the other stuff that people have mentioned already. Neon Lights Roleplay has so much for so many different types of people, and yeah. Thank you, audience. Thank you, players. I think with that, we can say, before the song plays one more time,
I'm going.
good night, everybody. And don't forget
Bye-bye.
to fuck up
Bye-bye.
that clown.
Bye-bye. Bye now. Bye-bye.
If that's what you're
Bye now.
into.
Bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye.